Steeler Nation, don't adjust your televisions. It is Saturday, and we are live, and we are not in the Growing Wings Adult Services studios. Chipper, where the hell are we?
We are at Pit Road Diecast.
Chipper, you actually sound really good. I'm glad you're holding the microphone with your arm.
Well, you know, if I had to hold it up with my hands, I'm sure we'd be hearing all kinds of feedback or other weird
That's
noises.
what she said.
Maybe even some farting. I don't know.
You don't want to hear no farting.
We've had a couple of cases that I didn't hear already.
Yeah, dog farts.
Dog farts.
Sunny Dog, he blew it up.
Yeah, he totally blew it up.
Sure, he wasn't eating the wings last night from Scorchers.
Ah, nice.
There you go.
So, where the hell were you guys last week?
We were in the Berg.
We were in the Berg.
We were at Acrisure Stadium to watch what we thought was going to be a victory. But
thought was going to be a victory. We did actually really think that because we were going around to say that we were going to beat them. And how did we put our foots in our mouth for that one?
So which one of you two caused Kenny Pickett to get the concussion within like 5 seconds of the game?
It wasn't one of us. It was Roquan Smith.
Yes, Roquan Smith.
That they got from Chicago.
Yep.
So we didn't even know he got a concussion.
Well, you know what? It could also be Dave's fault because he started some crap with some Ratbird fans at Burgatory, and they probably put the jinx on it. So
I started it?
You did.
How did I start it, Chipper?
You went over there. You know, you and them were bantering back and forth about who the best tight end was and all that other stuff, and then you decided.
Oh, here we go.
Then he decides to go over there and start talking to him and whatever, and who knows what kind of mojo or whatever they put on us.
So you're saying that he might have put a little bit of bad juju
Chipper
nice
on the Steelers?
Well done.
Well done.
Speaking of bad juju, they're going to be playing at the local in Strongsville tonight. Let's hope Kevin can keep the power on.
Wow, is that a shot at Kevin? That is a bad shot at your former employee over there, Lee. Tell me how you really feel. Hey, I like.
Okay.
Hold on. I like coming here to Pit Road Diecast. Sean gives me a phone holder that my phone doesn't drop off of.
Oh, I get one too.
Are these like Christmas gifts for us?
Well, the thing,
I think they use these when they do their auctions.
Well, they're kind of cool. Justin George, what's up? Anthony Greco, Bill Rabbits, all in the house. Want to give you guys a nice big shout out. Thank you guys.
The problem is we're here all. Me and Char are here all of 5 minutes, and I'm already loading up the car full of stuff because Bill made me buy stuff.
Well, Bill is giving us Christmas
Look at
gifts.
this.
Appreciate it,
Look at
Bill.
this stuff.
Hey, give Bill a round of applause. All right, thank you, Bill.
See this?
But no, we heard some rumblings last night that during another concert that was at the local that the power went out 2 songs in.
All right, Lee, we're not talking about the local. Let's talk about Pittsburgh Steelers football. Let's go, Chipper.
Why?
So last week started looking pretty good. But then Kenny got hurt. Mitch comes in, proceeds to throw 3 INTs, and then our defense proceeds to let the Ravens, with a third-string quarterback, run for 220 yards against us.
You got to watch around here what you say about Mitch, because he's from this area, and you got to watch. You never know who knows Mitch around here. They might kick your ass, Chipper.
Bring it on.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
But anyway, yeah, he threw 2 interceptions inside the red zone.
Inside the red zone.
Driving down that could have been possible scores. You can't do that. That's not going to win you football games, especially in Pittsburgh. Not going to happen.
So how bad did the vibe change at the game when Pickett went out and turnover Mitch went in?
Well, like I said, me and Chipper, we didn't even know. We were sitting up there, and all of a sudden they saw Mitchell Trubisky coming in for Kenny Pickett. We're like, what happened? 6 seconds later, Filipponi puts on his Twitter, he's in a concussion protocol and will not return.
Yeah, had no clue whatsoever.
I was puking my brains out last Sunday, so I didn't even get to watch
He
the
had
game.
COVID. Well, he says he had COVID, whatever.
No, I said I might have had COVID, but the test came back negative, so fuck you very much, Dynamite Dave.
So then
Thank
when they said they had a concussion, we're like, well, where's the blue tent? We didn't even see the blue tent get popped up behind the bench or anything.
Somebody told me that they don't put that up anymore on the field, that they put it up in the walkway where they come out.
Really?
Because they don't want players throwing stuff in there. I guess they had a problem in San Francisco about people throwing something into the blue tent. But the way that the camera shows it on TV with the blue tent, if you have the blue tent, I think there's a zipper on the front of it. So
it's supposed to fold up. Is what it does. It folds down.
Yeah,
and
then there's a
folds.
zipper that goes on front.
Yeah.
So how does people throw stuff in there?
I don't know.
Maybe they don't close the door.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a possibility, but yeah, that was a horrible loss for us. And
I mean, it was horrible. I mean, we had the 3 INTs, and then they basically they ran the ball basically almost the whole fourth quarter against us.
yeah, Chipper's boy couldn't stop anybody.
Here we
Terrell
go
Edmonds.
again. Here we go.
Terrell Edmonds couldn't stop anybody.
Everybody who plays like shit is my boy.
All right, well, let me ask you guys this, because obviously that wasn't the only quarterback that got put into concussion protocol last week in the Berg.
Nope.
Tyler Huntley also got put into concussion protocol, but he's cleared to play today
against the team
in First Energy. I don't even know where the hell we are.
We're in Perry.
like in the middle of fucking nowhere.
We're in Perry.
We're actually closer to Pittsburgh than we are Cleveland.
Yeah.
So does that consider these guys Steelers fans that are here? I know Bill's
up to
I know Bill is. Yeah.
I know Bill is. He's a Steelers fan.
But-
Justin said blue tents are still on the sideline. Jonathan Taylor just went in at the Vikings game.
But where were they last week?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
The blue tent was over my fucking toilet. That's all I remember from last Sunday.
Well, we don't care that was all over your toilet, Lee. We want to care about what happened to Kenny Pickett.
Hey, when we
By the way, he switched helmets this week. Did you see that?
yes,
So here's my question though: if Huntley was able to get cleared to do today's game,
yes.
against them,
I know what this question's going to be. Go ahead.
no.
It's got to be. Then why
Hang
can't Kenny play?
Well, I'm saying, have we heard any?
Damn it, Kenny.
And have we heard any updates if Kenny is playing tomorrow for?
He's not.
So
ESPN update is
Ka!
Mentor Mitch starting for the Steelers tomorrow
With a short leash.
on a very short leash, and
So
Chipper's
Rudolph,
boy.
the no-job
There we go.
QB, is going to be coming in
No,
afterwards.
no. That's Lee's boy. Number two.
That is Lee's boy. I
Number
forgot about
two.
that. That's Lee's boy.
Number two is Lee's boy, not mine.
The guy I literally
I'm
just
surprised.
called.
I'm surprised you didn't wear his jersey here.
I don't own a Mason Rudolph, the no-job QB jersey.
We still got Christmas coming up.
Sure.
You remember what the rule is too, Chipper, right? If it's given to you in studio, what's the rule?
You have to wear it.
You have to wear it.
I'll wear it once and then
No, that's not how this
it'll
goes, right, Chipper?
accidentally find a bonfire.
No, we'll just make sure that you leave it at the studio and under lock and key where you can't get to it until showtime.
Shout out Justin and Kyle from Talk
That's
About
right.
Balls. What's up, boys?
He knows the rules, Chipper. Matter of fact, where is your Steel City Renegade shirt at today, Chipper? There's 2 out of 3 of us who have it on, but I'm glad you got some Steelers stuff on.
I was just going to ask you.
It's
Oh, watch this. This is my fault.
no.
Watch.
It's at home.
But Shar didn't do your laundry?
No, it's at home. It's in the.
No, it's sitting in the sewing room where you can't see shit.
It's at home. I'm not gonna lie.
Why didn't you wear it?
I didn't feel like it.
No, okay. Good answer.
I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I just didn't feel like wearing it.
Good answer. You didn't wear it last week neither. Matter of fact, you need to
By
cover...
the way, we didn't have a show last week.
Well, cover your phone case up because it's killing me.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, it kind of catches my eye, my lazy eye that's like crossed. Have you ever seen it? Look, I'm looking at you over here too. You ever seen that?
So, Justin George says they only open the tent up when a player needs it. The independent doctor may rule a head injury, and the team cannot override it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but
we never saw. We being when we were at the stadium, never actually saw the blue tent.
I got pictures
popped up.
that I got pictures that we could post up there, and it wasn't on the field at all. Neither side.
We looked for it as soon as we saw the post. We looked for the tent. It's like we didn't even see it.
Damn it, Kai says he had technical difficulties putting it on this morning. He didn't want to be late
Nice.
to the show.
Give them a nice round
Hey.
of applause. Yes.
Hey, Kyle, for the record, when Dave told me that we were supposed to be here between 1 and 1:15
Here
today.
we go. Watch. Dave was
Shar
late.
and I were here at 12:55, all the way from Elyria, while Dave and Lee showed up at 20 after 1. So I don't want to hear me being late.
Okay, so we were set up, ready to roll at 2 o'clock on the dot in a drop top cruising the street, right?
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
You know how Chipper doesn't like the rap.
God. So getting back
How was
to...
Wiz Khalifa during halftime?
We don't know. We don't know. As soon as there's a minute left in the second quarter, I got up and went somewhere else.
Yeah. Funniest thing is, Chipper's like, when Wiz Khalifa comes out, I need to use the bathroom or it's beer time.
What I said was when I posted
and
on
yellow, black
what
and
I
yellow.
what I said was as soon as Wiz Khalifa was posted as being the halftime show, I'm
time
like,
to take a whiz.
There'll be plenty of time to take a whiz and get a beer.
Oh,
Ba-dum-bum.
come on, man.
Oh, that's the best you could do. I thought that was actually pretty good.
Wait, hang on.
He'll be at Lucy Shenanigans on stage on January 27th.
Hang on. This is what everybody thinks about your comment, Chipper.
That's fine.
All right, so let's get back to the game. So,
Yes, can we please?
so horrible.
I mean, we can't start on time. At least we can do is end on time.
Holy shit. 30-0 the Colts right now.
Over who? Vikings.
The Colts are playing the Vikings and beating them
that
30
true?
to nothing. Did you
Wow.
do picks for this week, Chipper? Oh, we can't. We're already late. Team in
I mean,
first.
we can.
No.
I mean, we can. There's only
All right, so
one
I'm
game
putting it
started.
out there.
I'm taking the Colts.
I'm taking a
Gee,
rap.
I wonder why.
They spotted you 30.
I'm taking the Colts first game.
They spotted
Lee,
you 30.
Lee, who do you got?
I don't know. The Vikings might be able to come back from that one.
No, we know Dave's going to take the Vikings.
I'll take the Vikings.
Okay. All right.
31-30.
Wow. Okay.
6 minutes till halftime, Justin said.
Wow.
Damn, they got the wow. 30 points in 2 quarters.
Yeah.
That's really not bad. That's only 15 points a quarter. You can come back from that.
Sure.
Dude, that's an ass whipping.
It is, but it's an ass whipping in the first half. You can come back from that.
You know what could happen is the Colts could pull a Raiders and blow a 30-point lead.
Here we
I'm
go.
sorry. Is that still too soon, Dave?
It is not too soon. Here we go.
So how soon is this show going to go from Steel City Renegades to Raider Nation when he moves to Vegas next year?
Oh, is that breaking news that Dave is moving to Vegas next year?
I mean, blocked punt, touchdown, pick six, etc. It's been ugly for the Vikes.
Wow, they've scored in every aspect of the game, Chipper. Block punt.
I'm surprised you actually know what the word aspect means.
Hey. Come on, there's no sound effect to that? That was funny. I laughed about it myself.
Thank you. Lucy Shenanigans, July 20th. Or January 20th, sorry.
January 27th.
Okay,
Get it
January
right.
27th.
I'll tell Lex.
But I'll be there on the 20th. The hell with this. I'll be there on the 20th. I'll do my own show.
Denied.
Denied.
But yeah, so we are.
We're
People-
surrounded by toys, and I don't get to play with any of them.
People are still talking about the Steelers
Yes.
making that P word.
Oh, boy.
The P word. And I seen you got into an argument with somebody because I was chiming in.
Oh, my God.
Tell us about that.
What's the P word?
Playoffs?
Oh, what?
Right.
Yes. Chipper, what was the argument about?
All I did was I posted in one of the Steelers groups about
Your boy.
There are like 6 teams, only 6 teams that have not won. Is it 6 or 10?
6.
Okay, that have not won a playoff game since 2016. We're one of them, and there were a bunch of other ones like I think the Broncos, the Lions. You know, I forget who the other teams were, but
Hey, here's a funny fact about.
people wanted to bitch at me that I'm getting all over Tomlin because of his record. I'm like, well, the record speaks for itself. 3 wins since our last Super Bowl appearance, and people are all over me. I'm like,
Well,
the record speaks for itself.
Stat of the day. Steelers' last playoff win was in 2016 at Kansas City in the divisional round of the playoffs. Only 10
Okay.
NFL teams have longer playoff win droughts. Broncos 2015, Cardinals 2015, Panthers 2015.
okay. Well, you can stop there. You know that we haven't won a playoff game in going on 5 years, correct? 5 years we haven't won a playoff
Well,
game.
after this year, it'll be
the
6.
Lions 1991.
Lions might make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, it's true.
So kudos to Dan Campbell now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here we go. said he graduated from high school in 1991.
Wow.
I remember what I was doing in 1991. I just got out of elementary school and I was going up to junior high.
You know where I was? I was 21 years old, and
You were in a parade. You told us
I was in
yesterday that you and Shar were in a parade in 92 and 93.
no, 95 and 97. We were
Or
up in
95
Detroit
and
for the
97.
Red Wing Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah,
Or
he threw
Stanley
Shar
Cup.
underneath the bus. By the way, kudos to Shar for putting up with you for all this time, especially the shit you put up with. You make us put up with.
Oh, you
So
had-
kudos to you, Shar.
Yeah, see there. So that's the shit. That's the shit that I got on Facebook. I posted that there were 10 teams that have win droughts since 2016, and everybody wants to get in my shit about defending your boy Mike T. Your boy Mike T.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Okay, so he's my boy. He's not my boy.
I mean,
you know how much.
every bad player seems to be my boy, so why can't the bad coach be your boy?
Okay, well I get
Mike T and Canada.
both of them.
Yes,
That makes up for all the players.
that's fine.
Oh my God, dude.
Especially Canada deserves it.
Oh,
He deserves to be your
he
boy.
Does, he does deserve
Damn,
it.
I wish we had the other soundboard so I can play the Blame Canada.
You could just sing it, Lee.
So
I'm good. I don't sound like Kyle's mom.
Ka.
everybody kept laying into me
Chipper
about
hates Tomlin because he likes rap music.
Crap is crap. That's
everybody-
what Chipper says.
everybody's wanting to defend Tomlin. It's like the stats, the facts, the stats speak for themselves. 3 playoff wins in 6 playoff.
But Chipper, he's got 15 regular seasons of 500 or better.
He doesn't
but-
have a losing season until this year.
Chipper, did you see how I added some salt and pepper to the mix when they were getting on me too about who we lost to in the playoffs? Blake freaking Bortles
Blake Bortles, yeah.
and
We
Tim
lost
Tebow.
to Baker fucking Mayfield. What are you
Oh,
talking
let's
about?
not talk about that one. My ass is still stinging
please.
from that one, man. That was an ass kicking.
Please.
I'd rather lose to Blake Bortles than Baker fucking Mayfield.
But we did.
We
we
lost.
did.
We lost to both of them, Lee.
And
We
we
lost in dramatic fashion.
And we lost to Tim Tebow
we
because
lost
of
to
Dave's boy.
AEW.
We lost to Tim Tebow because of Dave's boy.
Oh, don't even get me started on that Tim Tebow game. That game pissed me off.
Are you talking about the Ike Taylor getting burned and God
By
rest?
Demarius Thomas? Yeah, your boy, Ike Taylor.
You better God rest his soul. He just passed away.
Demarius Thomas.
Yes.
R-
Hall of
RH.
Famer.
RH.
Yes. God rest his soul. I think
Beat your boy, Ike Taylor.
he's running around up there with God, and Ike Taylor's still trying to chase
Still
him.
trying to
and
catch
tackle
him. Still trying to catch him, yeah.
Because he didn't find a way to catch him in that playoff game. That's
No.
why we lost.
That's right.
97 yards or not 87 yards
87.
touchdown. Yep. A slant across the middle. Yep. How do you not pick that up?
Ask the 1989 Browns.
1989 Browns.
Wow.
What are we talking about them for?
Oh, that's $1.
Red Right 88.
That wasn't 88, dude. That was like 82, 83.
No.
Whatever.
Ryan Sipe was the
Red Right
quarterback.
Red Right 88 was 80 because that was against the
Okay,
Raiders.
80.
double
I
overtime.
was close, Chipper. I was closer than what he
I was
was.
there.
I'm sorry.
I was
You
there.
were there? You were rooting for that team? You better not even
Nope,
say.
I apologize. I wasn't there.
Shar, was he rooting for that team?
Actually, I was
You're a
not at
liar.
that game.
You
I was
just
at
said-
I was at the Broncos drive game. I'm sorry.
So who were you rooting for? If you say
Steelers.
If you say that team in First
The
Energy,
Steelers.
then I'm inking Lee to another 5-year
I
deal
just
to
told you.
produce the show.
Please? So how can anybody defend Mike Tomlin right now?
Because there's Mike
Just
Tomlin.
because he hasn't had a losing season until this year.
That's why.
In the words of Chef, he's got the chocolate salty balls,
I've
and
ca-
everybody loves him.
I've been calling him our version of Jeff Fisher for at least 3 years now. Everybody's happy with just having a winning record and the hell with the playoffs.
Justin's just like, how are you guys surrounded by collectibles and figures and not talking Power Rangers?
Wow. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That deserves a laugh. Come on.
Justin, great one. You should have just seen Lee's look. Well, actually, you did because it was on camera.
Tune into the second half of the remote for that.
Yeah, let's not get him started on Power Rangers, Chuck Norris, whatever. We're not talking about that. That's another show. But hey, that's hilarious.
Nice. Well
Hey,
done,
The
Justin.
one collectible I really want, Bill's hiding at his house.
Yeah,
so.
he knew you were coming. He didn't.
It's the pink Power Ranger.
No, I already met her. I met her like 4 years ago.
Okay, we're not talking about Power Rangers.
No,
Chipper.
we're not.
You
brought it
started
up.
this. You
no,
did.
Justin did.
Justin said, ha, 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 thank
But
you.
you just
Justin did.
you just talked about the other one, so we're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about this loss and this Mike Tomlin fight that you started
Fine.
on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to fight about? Everybody's seen a lot of fans seem to be content with Mike T being our version of Jeff Fisher. The fact that he has not run his course as our head coach. We should be looking for another head coach, but people seem to be content with just having a winning record and possibly making the playoffs and getting our asses kicked.
So what you're saying is Steelers fans are happy with being content,
Pretty much.
I mean, it seems like that
or
way
being the
because,
standard.
The standard is the standard because the collective of the team, the scenarios on the team just doesn't pan out because the standard doesn't work for the collective.
What the hell did you just say?
I don't know. Mike Tomlin uses it all the time. People ask the same thing.
all right, here's my thought on the whole.
The standard is the standard.
Here's my thought on the whole thing, because obviously we're all in a lot of the same Steeler groups, and we all see the same bullshit that gets posted on a daily basis.
That deserved a clap.
like
We
that?
all fucking agreed on that.
Like
There you
that.
go.
I mean, Lee even said it at the same time.
Yeah, you guys owe each other a Coke.
They're in the cooler.
Yeah.
But here's what I think it is everybody has gotten so used to this team being that high echelon, the team that ESPN's like, the team everybody's got to beat is the Steelers, the team that CBS Sports, everybody's got to beat is the Steelers, that now it's just like, okay, we're winning here and there, but we've got this new guy and that new guy and da-da-da-da-da. I think everybody in Pittsburgh is starting to listen to Cleveland radio because that's all I'm hearing out of any of these Steeler groups is the same crap that's been spewed on the talking heads from here for the last 20 years.
Well, we took surveys when we were down there, right, Chipper? We asked the fans. There's some videos that are out there. If you go on my Facebook or Steel City Renegades, you'll see them about how do they like Tomlin and what do they think of this team and if we're going to make the playoffs. And I do believe a dude at Mike's Beer Bar spit his beer out after we said that because they don't want to talk about playoffs there. And these fans that are in these groups, they're talking about it like, oh, well, we can go to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl.
Oh, but we're not the real fans.
Correctly. We're not the real fans for being optimistic and telling facts about our team that
I mean, Adam Bittner, every week on their post-game show, is asking the exact same questions after every game.
Yeah.
If that's the only commentary that a professional person from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette has is the same question, what are we going to do about this offense? What are we going to do about the defense? What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with that? At some point, you have to stop blaming the players and blaming the people that are responsible for getting the players to the point that they need to be.
But at some point, though, I believe we're paying, would they say $108 million for all our defensive players? At some point,
Your mic's off, Dave.
we've got one of the highest paid defenses in the league, if not the highest paid defense in the league. At some point, why can't you blame the players though?
I mean, you're going to have to.
I mean, granted, yeah, they got their money and they got their money like they wanted to. The team was stupid enough to pay these players the money that they wanted, but yeah, coaching obviously does play a huge part in it. But at what point do the players have to take some kind of responsibility?
My question is when is the higher ups? When is the general manager? When is the people above the head coach going to get involved and be like, listen, this is not. Oh, Adam Wessinger, fuck the Steelers. Oh, hey guys,
Start a show. What's up?
Start the show.
but at some point, when is somebody from the upper office going to step in and be like, Mike, this isn't working with Matt. Find somebody else to do the offensive playing calling.
After the season.
Chipper said, but let's go back to what Chipper said, and I don't mean to cut you off real quick. I do believe he said it 3 weeks ago on the air when we had Adam Bittner. He said, oh, I bet Canada's back. Then he asked Adam Bittner what Adam Bittner thought. Adam says, absolutely not, but go ahead. Go where you were.
I'm not even saying that he's gone as the offensive coordinator. I'm just saying that they take the offensive play calling away from him for right now and give it to somebody else. Yes.
They said the reason why they haven't done that yet is because there's nobody efficient enough or hold on. There's nobody efficient enough on the coaching staff that can do what Matt Canada has done. They said that Mike Sullivan is not ready to be an offensive coordinator.
See you, Justin. We'll see you later.
Nobody's efficient enough to do what Matt Canada's done. What? Turn us into the laughingstock of the fucking NFL?
Well, Dude, listen, something's got to change. We know it starts at the top. You talked about the general manager, Lee. Let's get into that for a second. This is his first ever draft.
That's correct.
This ain't his coach. This ain't
No.
his coach. So a lot of people are like, well, he's not going to
I agree, Adam. He says send Canada and Joe Woods to the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, you could do that. I seen a thing. I don't know if I sent it to you guys in the chat, but I seen a thing where it says Canada to Carolina for a second-round draft
No,
pick.
Tomlin.
Or, I'm sorry.
Because the owner of the Carolina Panthers used to be a minority owner of the Steelers.
Correct.
So there's a
The minority owner, the
used-
owner of the Cleveland Clown Show used to be a minority owner of the Steelers. And look at how bad that team's been.
no. But the point is that the Panthers need a head coach.
Yeah,
they don't have a head coach right now.
Please trade us. Please.
So
I'm asking.
Hey,
please.
if they're willing to trade for Tomlin, please do.
And somebody also
And give
said,
us Mike. We'll take Mike Vrabel.
remember Brian Flores. Let's
Brian
go.
Flores, sure.
Remember my
Isn't
top two.
Scott, what's his name, available too? Or Sean.
Sean
Sean
McVay,
Payton. Sean Payton.
Or they're not going to
Payton.
get him.
Sean Payton.
He's going to go to probably Denver. A lot of talk.
What up, Timbuktu?
What's up, Timbuktu?
How those wings doing you this morning?
He didn't have any.
He did have some.
He took all the wings home.
Oh, but I thought you were talking about like.
You all right, Sean?
I seen the cord fall. I'm like, oh, hopefully Sean's all right.
Yeah, he took. The
It's
wings.
being held on by the Arca Truck Series clock.
Isn't that a coincidence? Where's your soundboard at, Lee? Come on.
Right here.
Hit the button.
What button?
Whatever
The
button you
laugh.
choose.
The laugh.
The laugh.
There
you
you
go.
go. Denied. Tim, I'm really disappointed that you didn't take part in the Inferno Challenge last night. By the way.
But anyway, get back to that. So,
Star of the show says, I'll take Tomlin and Carolina. Do it.
okay.
Sure.
With that roster, he won't win for 3 to 4 years.
But
But that's the other thing about Tomlin that Steelers fans keep seeming to be forgetting as well. Every player that he won a Super Bowl with were
cowards. Exactly
players.
right.
Yeah, and how many players has Tomlin developed since he's been in Pittsburgh? How
Not many. Not many.
And what are the four?
You look at the last 5. Well, again, we're talking about the old regime as far as GM Kevin Colbert. But you look at, I keep wanting to print this off and bring this in so we can compare. The last 3 or 4 years of drafts, we have missed on a lot of the first 2-round draft picks.
Yeah, well, you wanted
I mean,
your boy.
you can't count Najee yet because he's only his second year.
You wanted your boy Devin Bush.
Right? Amen. So you look at the last 3, 4, maybe even 5 years of drafts. We have missed terribly on the first 2 picks, except for Najee and TJ Watt, obviously. But we have missed bad on our
Well,
picks.
I think that they're starting to know that because the mock draft has them picking 3 defensive players first, 2 at corner, 1.
I want Porter Jr.
That's who they're talking about. The Steelers getting. That's why I want us to continue to lose because the more we lose,
Chipper.
What?
Glad to see Chipper out in public and not in the sewing room, and that's from the star of the show.
Love you too, Adam. Keep
Hey,
it up,
the
buddy.
star of the show must have.
Hey, Adam, keep it up.
He's on YouTube.
Keep going back to Walmart and getting your ass kicked by Buckeye fans for wearing your shit team from up north attire.
I did see that.
I did see that too.
What happened now?
He went
He went to Walmart and he almost ran into somebody in one of the aisles, and they turned around and like, we should have kicked his ass because he's wearing Michigan gear.
Oh, that's $10 for you.
He does owe $10. Put it in the till.
The shit team from up north is what we call them down here.
So that's tripled. Lee's just looking at me like, "Are you serious?"
Hey man, as far as I'm concerned, Tom can go wherever other than Pittsburgh next year.
Can he come here and work? Sean
but-
and Bill, do you guys need a worker?
Who, Adam? Oh, Tomlin?
Yeah, Mike Tomlin. He can come here to work, right?
The standard is the standard.
See, the collective here at Pit
Yeah.
Road Diecast is,
The standard here. How would he say it? The standard.
I don't know,
of
he
the
uses so many 8-letter words that nobody even
I'm
cares
sorry that
about.
the sales were down today, but
The standard
we've-
is the standard. We'll be back tomorrow.
we've got a plan in place. We just got to make sure that we execute the plan more properly.
But as a collective, we have to make sure we execute the plan properly because the standard is the standard.
I love this answer to who was starting at quarterback this week. Well, when the plane takes off,
Yeah.
you don't know who the pilot is until it touches down or something like that.
He really has a way of working around the true answer. God bless him.
Okay,
Why didn't you just say Menor Mitch is starting. Why didn't you just say that? Because was there doubt?
It's gamesmanship.
Oh, well. What are they going to prepare for?
All right, so Mitch Trubisky's starting, but he's on a very short lease, and
Yes.
we might have a Rudolph the no-job QB sighting.
Chipper's boy.
No. Lee's boy.
Lee's boy.
I don't know why everybody says that. I wrote the dude a song
That's why
saying,
he's your
get
boy.
the hell out of Pittsburgh.
Now, if you write a song about somebody, that's either a love or a hate relationship. Ask the crowd. They would know.
It'd be
All of the other fans want to see you gone and say goodbye.
If you had
Rudolph the no-job QB, fuck off your history. Does that sound like love and support?
That is love. You're telling them to get out of here. Chipper, will you go pick him up?
Hey, we offered to go pick him up last week, throw him in the back of my pickup truck, and throw him into the river. He didn't accept our offer.
Which one?
Yes, Tomlin or Rudolph. Yes.
No, I meant which river.
There's three of them.
There's
there's
three
three
of
of
them. The Monongahela.
Ah.
Wow. Didn't know you knew that word, Chipper.
Yep. There's the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela. Monongahela and Allegheny form the Ohio River.
Can you spell that?
THAT.
That was a good
It's
one.
not that hard. I'm not a Cleveland fan, so I know how to spell.
You sure about that?
Well, you asked me to spell that. I spelled that. I don't know if they can know how to do it.
No, okay. Maybe they may not.
Shar is. She just put like a sewing needle and a safety pin, and she put, these will have to do. There's no sewing machine emojis.
Ooh, it's bad when the wife gets on you.
Hey.
That's because you didn't get her bacon on her oh boy, and you didn't wake her up.
Is Shar walking home? Like, is that
No,
what's going to
Char's
happen?
driving. Chipper's walking home.
I got nothing.
Okay. Anyway, so let's get back
I
to
mean,
it.
somehow we go from talking about Mike T and Lee's boy Rudolph to talking about Char and old boy and
Because she commented, we gotta make sure that we
Engage the audience.
correct.
Oh,
Engage
I
the
forgot.
audience.
don't we need to sign up above here so it says applause and so the audience can applause when we tell them to applause?
Well, we could either do that, or there's a fancy button that's on that board. There you go. So that cancels out the crowd.
So, do we want to talk about
All right.
tomorrow's game? Or are we done talking about
Who?
tomorrow's game?
Wait a minute. Let's back
I
up.
could have sworn he said a word that rhymes with poop.
Yeah. What game did you want to talk about?
Tomorrow's game?
No, you said something before that. Back up. It's live on camera. You did say something about that. After we spent our hard day telling them down in Pittsburgh not to use that word, and you even actually told the coach that. You told him not to use that word, and you used it.
I did not. I said, we're going to talk about tomorrow's game. What word are you talking about? The B word? I didn't
What?
use that word.
Did he use the word?
That's what I heard.
Did
In
he
these
use the word?
fancy
Did
damn
anybody
headphones.
hear?
I thought I said tomorrow's game.
No, you said the B.
Did not.
You
Because they're
did.
playing today. Why would I use that when they're playing
You said,
today?
dude.
I could have sworn what you said was, all right, we're done talking about this. Are we going to talk about the game?
You didn't say tomorrow's game.
Thank you.
Oh!
Okay. All right. Well,
Rewind that far, yeah. He did say tomorrow.
I don't think he said that.
Apologies are needed. Apologies, please.
you know what? Here's your fucking apology, all right?
I bet he said the team that plays in First Energy.
I did not say that.
No, he did not.
Nope. I said tomorrow.
Where's the red flag to challenge the play?
What's that?
Where's the red flag to challenge the play?
Well, Shar is the instant replay lady. But anyway, are we going to talk about tomorrow's game? Yes, let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
because we got, what, another 20 minutes and then the other show comes
The
on?
Mind of Crazy Money comes on.
All right, Lex.
Speaking of which, he looked good last night at our party.
He was invisible.
Yes, he looked so good last night.
All right, so anyway, let's talk about the Carolina game.
All right.
What, you talking about the fact that I was wearing all black? Trust me, if I can
No,
get
not
away.
you. Klaus.
On, Lee, above your head and underneath your feet.
I mean, it was the quietest Christmas party we've ever had.
He's taking shots at somebody who wasn't even there. That's hilarious because you know that. Oh, you know about the Leave Money roast, right? You know we're getting them.
I heard about it.
Yeah, we're getting them.
Okay.
And Bill's welcome to.
If I'm able to make it happen.
Oh, we'll make it happen. We have to make it happen for that one. But anyway,
Tomorrow's game,
we travel to.
Carolina against the Panthers.
Who's the starting quarterback for the Panthers?
Sam Darnold. Don't call me Malone. Darnold. I like that Cheers reference. Sam Malone from Cheers. Oh, is that way before your time.
I know,
Not all of us were born in 1897.
I mean, all you
I know
guys
what
have-
Cheers is.
Okay.
Can you sing their theme song? We'll do it at the end.
Char said I can't get a word in, so are we going to talk about tomorrow's game? Okay.
Here we go. I'll accept your apology.
I'm not apologizing. I'm going to go back and watch the tape myself.
Fine. You got 3 people in here saying that I said tomorrow's game, and you still won't admit it or apologize. Okay,
We'll see what
that's
happens.
Fine. All right.
But anyway,
I got Chipper's back because the Steel City Renegades is buying me 2 tickets to the Steelers' first Energy Stadium game in Pittsburgh. And that's from the guy sitting at the desk over there that wore a dress on my show last year at the Piston Power Show.
so we're buying him 2 tickets? Who's the other person that's going with you? Both of them raise their hands, so you have to pick one, and it better be the one you sleep with.
I mean,
Well, wait a minute. Can we confirm which one he's sleeping with? Oh! Can we confirm which one he's sleeping with?
I was going to say, I can't really admit to a lot of that.
Okay, so they're both here. You have to pick one, Bill.
No, he's the boy.
Oh, the boy.
That's on our father-son list.
Yeah, and it's because it's Pittsburgh Browns.
oh, boo.
She owes money to the till, don't she, Chipper?
She didn't know the rule ahead. She didn't really know the rules, so we can let her slide on that one.
Beginning of the show, so I caught on quickly. She did.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. At least Bill knows.
Right.
So now we got to get 4 seats.
We just have to feel bad for Bill. The fact that he's a Steelers fan doesn't have any attire is
He's got some
unfathomable.
He's got some special attire for you that he's going to put on later. Let's just
He
say
doesn't
that.
have it here. He doesn't have it here.
It is here.
It is here.
It is here.
Oh.
And it is not what you think it is. It is something better than that.
Are we talking about the thing we
No, no,
talked?
no.
Okay.
Can we talk? Do we have a certain kind of music we need to get ready
Yes.
for it?
Yes. We do.
Yeah, the music that'll get us kicked off the fucking air.
Is it
So-
called? Is it called Girls, Girls, Girls? Or
No.
No.
All right, so Carolina,
All right,
Sam
tomorrow.
Darnold, you know we're about to get lit up, right? Because that's what happens when Mike
Are we
Tomlin-
really?
Yes, because Mike Tomlin is our head coach, and he doesn't prepare us for teams that are less than us, and we should beat them. Let's go back and
We couldn't beat Tyler Huntley and the third quarter.
Yeah,
the
with their-
third string quarterback.
Come on, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
but hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Are you sure he's actually going to have to throw the ball because they got running backs that can run the ball too? So are you sure they're not going to run the ball over us like the Ravens did on Sunday?
I said that they are going to beat us. He's the
Yes.
leader of the team, so Sam Darnold is going to beat us, just like Tyler Huntley beat us last week. Actually,
Tyler Huntley didn't beat us last week.
Well,
No, Tyler Huntley got his bell rang
It
and
was
was out of the
what's his
game.
name? The third
Jackson.
Third string quarterback.
Anthony Jackson,
No, Anthony Smith.
No.
Anthony Johnson. It was Anthony Johnson or Jackson, whatever.
It's
Number
not
12.
Jackson. It's not Jackson. I thought it was Smith. Anyways, so who's to say they're not going to run the ball over us tomorrow too? All over that $108 million defense.
Adam is saying Steelers Teddy? No. Not a Steelers Teddy. No, not at all. But anyway, yeah, they probably might run the ball all over us.
I mean, now I don't know if the pronunciation of his first name is right or not, but it's Chuba. Is it Chuba or is it Chuba?
Chuba.
Okay. So you got Chuba and Dante Foreman as their running backs. Who's to say that they won't run for 200 plus yards against us?
They'll probably have like 300 yards rushing combined against us.
And maybe even Sam Malone Darnold will have his career game against us as well.
Anthony Brown.
Brown.
Oh, okay.
We were both far off.
I was closer than you were.
I said Jackson.
Right as I found it on Google, star of the show put it in the chat.
Anthony Brown. That sounds like a wide receiver, not a quarterback. It would have been even funnier if a wide receiver beat us.
Wow.
It would have been. Shar is trying to tiptoe past the camera over here so she doesn't get busted on camera. So you see her walking behind Lee Money. There you go. Anyway.
Now she's back there.
No, see, right there.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So anyway, yeah.
How can you see her? She's got a camouflage shirt on, and you're not supposed to be able to see her if she's wearing camouflage.
Wow. Wow.
Stewie's got something for you.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Wow.
You suck. Do we have faith in Mitch tomorrow?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Who do we have more faith in?
I have more faith in this guy quarterbacking for us.
Listen,
He might get to play.
listen. We better have faith in Mitch, because you know what happens if Mitch turns the ball over. You know what's coming.
I can't imagine how short this leash that he's
All
going
right,
to
how many plays is it before Rudolph gets hit in the head with his own helmet again?
I don't think that'll happen again.
Where's the cricket sound effect?
Yeah, that's not going to happen again. He's trying to find it. He's got to go to the next bank.
I don't know. Do you think Mitch is on a really, really short leash where if he throws his first interception, he's done?
Yes. He cannot turn the ball over. And I also...
What do you think? One interception, he's done?
Yes.
Dude had more turnovers in that game last week than we've had in the past 6 games combined.
Yes.
Mitch Trubisky has had more turnovers last week than a box of Pillsbury turnovers.
What?
Just his face alone is worth it.
Okay.
What was that?
Well, he had 3, and there's usually 3 or 4 turnovers in a box of Pillsbury turnovers.
Wow.
In case those of you at home didn't know that.
You suck.
Wow. Chipper, that was
So one interception and he's done.
one and done.
One and done. What if he throw? And so if he has maybe
the rookie quarterback, where that was his 6th game starting, 7th game starting,
Yes.
has thrown 0 turnovers
Has had 0 turnovers. No interceptions, 0 turnovers.
do you think
in
this?
5 games.
Do you think this will be a Najee, Jalen Warren type game?
I think, now this is what I'm going to think, or I'm going to tell you.
Do tell.
I think that if Mitch has an interception,
Okay.
number 2 comes out,
Okay.
and they change the offense for him to go deep.
Sure.
And they duct tape the helmet on his head.
Because your boy,
Oh, which one is this?
Deontay Johnson,
Just want to make sure which one
Is
you're talking
out
about.
tomorrow.
No.
he's out.
Is he officially out? No. Because remember we looked last night. It was
Well, I
limited
mean,
practice.
he still is listed as limited in practice.
Okay, so he is pulling for number 2
Yes, he is.
to be the quarterback.
Are you trying to say that Deontay Johnson could possibly throw the game so he can get his boy?
Maybe that's a possibility.
Okay.
Because he's hungry for that first touchdown. He hasn't had it. And they've been complaining all season long about they're open. Him and George Pickens, they're open. And I was listening to 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Out
so
of
do
it-
I.
Out of everybody on the Steelers roster, quarterback-wise, number 2 has the biggest arm and can throw the deep ball. So that's why I'm saying that Mitch is on a very short leash. And this may...
Deontay Johnson is listed as questionable.
So I'm going to say this, okay? And this may change some things for next year.
Child alert.
Child alert.
Yeah, out of Parma. 2013 Black Ford Explorer.
They better not pull me over. I got a Black Ford Explorer.
Was it a 2013?
No,
Then you're all right.
but they'll see a Black Ford Explorer.
All
But
right.
anyway, so he's on a very short leash.
Okay.
Very short.
I wouldn't probably go as far as saying 1 turnover he's out, but if it starts becoming a problem where he's throwing more pastry than he is passes, we're gonna unfortunately get a number 2 sighting.
Is there a prop bet? I wonder if there's a prop bet on any sites or anything like that. Mitch Trubisky.
If we start
bench-
hearing
No.
coming from the stadium,
Mitch Trubisky benched before or after halftime.
before
After his first interception.
I mean,
that cord just doesn't want to stay up.
After his first interception, he's done.
okay. Is it before or after halftime?
Before
Before.
halftime.
Okay. So if you're a betting man,
Before halftime.
you bet that he's gone.
I would say before the second quarter.
Wow, that's.
Damn.
There's one thing that Mike Tomlin's trying to do.
I would actually take that bet too. I would actually take the before halftime bet as well. But
There's one thing that Mike Tomlin is trying to do here, and that is to get another non-losing season, right? So what does our record
he
say?
has to win tomorrow. We actually has to win the next. We have to win.
He has
all
to
the,
win out.
Yeah, win out to do that.
Okay, so if he goes on a 4-game winning streak, that proves the fans, again,
Go ahead.
that he's a good head coach and that he hasn't had a losing season in his whole time in Pittsburgh. So So you know that's what his goal is for tomorrow. He could care less who the quarterback is. You could tell by his interview. It's either Kenny.
I would tend to agree with that.
It's either Kenny or he doesn't care who it is. And I'm telling you this right now. Mason is playing for a job either back with Pittsburgh next year.
He won't be back with Pittsburgh.
Hold on. Either playing with a job back with Pittsburgh next year or with another team, because I heard something interesting today. And I was reading on Twitter. Mark Madden, you know who he is?
No.
He's a Pittsburgh Steelers Post-Gazette writer.
All right.
He said that there's talks. If Mason has a good game, it could be a good opportunity that he comes back to Pittsburgh next year as Kenny's backup, and they trade Mitch for a 5th-round pick.
I don't know why he would want to come back for the way that they screwed him over this year.
That's another thing that comments were at.
I mean, wait, whoa. Everybody seems to be forgetting one thing, though. The only reason Mason Rudolph, and I'm sorry to say this, I am sorry to go this dark, but the only reason Mason Rudolph is still on this roster is because Dwayne Haskins walked in front of a fucking truck.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that, dude. You shouldn't have said it like that.
Unfortunately, he's right, though. If Haskins, God bless his soul, still with us, yes, he would be on the roster, and Mason would not. Well, actually, would he? Did we sign Mitch before?
Okay,
or after
but think
that?
about this.
Hold on a second.
No. Mitch was signed before.
Yeah,
all that
Mitch was signed
happened.
before that.
Okay,
Because
so
Oh my God!
the mean one just walked in. What's that?
Would Trubisky be on the team? Dwayne was still alive.
Well,
Yes,
Mitch
that's what we just asked, because I wasn't sure if
Mitch
Mitch was signed before or
Mitch
after.
was signed because
Mitch was signed before.
So-
it was
so
his
Mitch-
invite down to Florida to do this.
So then, yeah, Mitch would still be on the team. Mason would not. Mason would have been cut.
I think the Grinch is here to see you, Chipper.
Look at that guy. Look at this guy.
Hold on, I gotta create another scene for this.
No, he's coming. You're a
The
mean
Grinch
one,
is here. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Grinch.
It must be related to Mike Tomlin.
Oh,
Wait, no, wanting to ruin him. Never mind. Well, thank you. Oh, well, all right. My apologies. Thank you.
he gave you a candy cane and took your phone holster back.
He basically said, "Fuck you, Chipper."
He did.
Damn it.
So anyway, real quick,
He said, "Shh."
we got about 10 minutes left to go.
Yes.
Let's talk about tomorrow predictions, whatnot.
Wait a
what's
minute.
going-
Wait a minute. We're an hour and a half.
Well, why did Chipper say
I thought. Oh, okay. So we're going an hour and a half. Okay.
that's what we agreed on yesterday?
We're here 3 hours, and we're splitting it between 2 shows. So
But I
that's
thought we
an
were taking-
hour and
okay.
30 minutes per show.
But you thought we were taking
Math is
a
awesome.
break?
It was. Never mind. It's fine. We'll go an hour and a half. Fine. There's the whole communication.
Chipper,
there goes the
you
whole
do
communication.
not listen.
There goes the whole communication thing again. It's all
We
right.
just talked about
It's all
this
right.
last night.
He asked me, "Oh, Dave, how long are we going on for?" I said an hour and a half, and then Money's Crazy Mind is going on for an hour and a half.
See, even the Grinch heard it.
Rich knows.
Explain your thought process in that real quick, because I want to know.
I don't recall us talking that we were going to be on for an hour and a half each, because I knew last we talked about it. We were
Was
going to be
last
on for,
night.
We're going to be on for an hour or something, and there was
Chipper,
going to be
the
a break in
math here
between.
is very simple,
It's
okay?
fine.
2 shows, 3 hours.
Okay.
You divide 3 hours in half, and you get an hour and 30 minutes each.
And then he talks about, well, I thought there was going to be a break. What time do we normally take our break on our show? At the top of the hour, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. So that's our break time, Chipper.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Sonny.
Not like that.
Sonny,
Sonny
what are
does
your
not
thoughts
like
on
that.
the Grinch?
No, Sonny didn't like me smacking Chipper. I'm sorry, Sonny.
No, he went right for the Grinch, dude.
No, that's because he's protecting
Ah.
the Grinch and Chipper.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
See, Chipper, you got to protect her.
I don't care if it's broken.
Like your dick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens.
Wow.
I should have given you one with Viagra in it. You might need that.
Wow.
All right, so let's get back to the game.
Apparently, I'm on broke dick fountain over here. So
Wow, you said that live on air, not us, right?
Hey,
The Grinch said it before I did. I mean,
But you just admitted it, so I mean, Megan.
What's up with that, Megan?
Yeah, what's up with that, Megan? We need to get that taken care of.
You need one of these. You need a sack.
Charge is about to spill the spit and pop out.
Wow. So
Outstanding.
does that mean that Bill and Chipper will both be at Lucy's?
Bill's not even here. The Grinch is here.
Well, the Grinch.
I'll
The Grinch got jokes.
I'll do a show with the Grinch, but I'm the headliner.
I mean, the Grinch.
Do shows in December.
I mean, the Grinch does. He was voiced by Jim Carrey at one point. So
You're a mean one, Mr.
Grinch.
Chipper.
Oh God.
yeah, let's not get us kicked off Facebook on our triumphant return to Facebook one night.
Yeah,
only.
we don't want the whole trade. Was it trademark infringement or whatever that is?
Paul Moyer says Steelers 17-14 squeak out the win.
Wow. I don't know, man. I mean, we're actually
With Mitch with Mitch the Dick.
the last I saw, I think Carolina is actually favored by a point, so that's how close
2.5.
this game is. Is it 2.5? No.
2.5.
Wow.
2.5 points
All right.
they're favored by.
All right.
All right, so let's move on to the Christmas Eve game here real quick. What do we think is going to happen on Christmas Eve? Do we think they're going to be able to squeak out one against the Raiders?
What are you looking at me for, Chipper?
Grinch says
Are you
no.
going to be there?
Am I going to be
Are
there?
you going to that game or no?
I don't know. Depends.
I mean, you said you were going. And,
And I just said I don't know. It depends.
Is that game at Acrisure? or
Yes.
Yeah.
If it was in Vegas, I'd definitely be there. I'll tell you that.
no? So, what do you think, Chipper? Do you think that seeing what we saw last week with Mitchie Poo at quarterback,
Mitch won't be the quarterback.
but we'll
next-
assume next week Pickett will be back.
Yeah, Pickett will be back.
we can hope.
Well, I
He'll
mean,
be
we'll
back.
we'll assume that he'll be back because the only reason why he's not.
I mean, they're saying Lamar Jackson's going to be back next week against the Raiders.
He
so-
might play today.
No.
No, They ruled him out. They said he's
They
coming
ruled
back
him out?
next week.
Yes.
Yeah,
They said there was a possibility of him playing
or
today.
against Carolina. I'm sorry, they play Carolina next week.
The only reason why Pickett isn't playing this week is because they're saying that he didn't have enough practice.
He split practice with
He
three
didn't-
other
he
quarterbacks.
didn't-
But he was
Practice this week?
limited all week.
He was limited in practice. So limited means he still got reps.
Well, that's what they were saying. That's what I read, and that's what I heard. Is the fact that the reason why he's not
You're right,
starting
Chipper.
is
You're
not-
100% right.
is because he didn't get
You're
enough
right.
practice time.
Why don't we ask the Grinch what he thinks?
He says Pittsburgh.
Uh-oh.
Says Pittsburgh.
All right. So, final thoughts for this weekend. Do we think we have what it takes to beat the Panthers, or are we going and getting our next loss?
I think somehow we'll manage to blow it.
We got half of the Grinch's arm on camera.
No, well, let me scoot over some and let him come in a little bit more.
Rich, you want to scoot on in here?
He's a mean one. Mr. Chipper.
There we go. Now we got the Grinch on camera.
Oh,
Somehow I will manage to blow it.
yes. He will blow it somehow, some way.
So I'm
Dude.
I'm taking the Panthers.
Listen, with the way that this team played last week against a third-string quarterback in the second half, and they ran the ball down our throats, I definitely don't think we win this game unless Mitch comes out and doesn't turn the football over. And God forbid if number 2 comes out, because you know what's going to happen if number 2 comes out. They're going to throw the ball deep down the field multiple times for Deontay either to get his touchdown or to prove that Pickens and them wasn't, or that the wide receivers weren't the problem all year. Was the quarterback who couldn't get the ball to them. So what happens if that does happen, Chipper? If number 2 comes in and he throws a deep ball to Pickens and he throws one to Johnson and they score,
Yes.
the talk's going to be that number 2, the backup, and he should have been playing all along.
Oh, there'll be all kinds of quarterback controversy when that if that were to happen. Even if
So you agree with me?
even if Mason outperforms Trubisky, the quarterback controversy is just going to be.
We're talking about a guy that lost his job to a dude named Duck.
I know.
I mean, people don't understand that neither, that he lost his job to Devlin Duck Hodges, and He did play in one game last year. And what was the outcome of that, Chipper?
We tied the Lions.
Tied the Lions.
Tied the Lions. You suck. But the only difference is
Char said she's a Lions fan.
she is.
Oh, okay.
The only difference is the only real quarterback controversy that will be between should we have signed Trubisky and not let Mason have the number 2 job?
Well, you know that's going to be
because
tough.
Pickett obviously there's no getting over or any kind of controversy about Pickett. We use our draft pick, so he's going to be on a team one way or the other. It'll be should they have given Trubisky the starting job to begin with, or should they have given Mason a legitimate chance at it, which they didn't.
So can we ask the Grinch that same question real quick? See
Sure.
if he answers.
Sure.
Grinch, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm just wondering this. Last time I came down from the mountain to Whoville, Terry Bradshaw was the quarterback. And then you're talking about number 2. I usually just do that in the woods, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is all right. Since we have the Grinch here, this is actually a question that came up on TikTok yesterday. If the only thing that the Grinch gets up on the mountain is all of Whoville's trash, how did you get Max?
Well, originally he was just drawn into the cartoon, but Max followed me back one day from Whoville,
Okay.
and he's very, very, very loyal. So he brings me stuff too.
Oh, he brings him stuff.
Brings him stuff.
All right.
So it is the top of the hour. And what do we do here on Steel City Renegades at the top of the hour, Mr. Sewing Room Chipper?
We like to thank our sponsors of our show.
All right, so who is the official show sponsor of the Steel City Renegades?
That would be where we're at right now.
Where are we?
Pit Road Diecast. Here in, is it Painesville or is it Perry? Which is it?
You should know this by now. You do it every
Well,
week.
MapQuest says Painesville.
Yeah, MapQuest says. Well, actually, Google Maps says Painesville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a funny story. So last night, Lee's like, the directions lead me to a dock.
Literally, the picture of the store that's on Google Maps is a dock. It's a boat dock, which just in the middle of the river.
I didn't see a kind of buildings.
Yeah, so I'm telling Lee, I said, no, you got to go down this driveway, and it's right there. He's like, what shows a dock? There's no dock here, Lee. There's
You
no dock.
saw it.
I did see it, but there's no dock anyway. So
We are at Pit Road Diecast in Perry, Ohio. Checking out all these awesome diecast cars that they have here, of which I happen to have already put a couple out in the car, thanks to Bill and Sean.
you sound disappointed about that. Why are you disappointed? You
Well, I
spent
wasn't-
money?
well, yeah, but I wasn't planning on spending as much as I did.
Hey,
Well,
you're
whose
the
fault
one
is that?
you're
Did
the
they
one-
twist?
You're the one that walked over there, grabbed the car,
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, you take Venmo? Okay, here's my money."
Yeah, I hear they don't push at all. They just like to help people. They don't push you. No, so you did it all on yourself.
It's true. I know.
I mean, we're walking in, and he's walking out with an armful of cars. Like it's Christmas Day.
Oh, it's Christmas time in the city.
They have NASCAR diecasts. They have NHRA diecasts. They have
I see
Models.
models.
Don't forget about the
I
models.
see a bunch of
Funkos?
Dale Earnhardt over there wearing different kinds of clothing other than race car materials.
Yeah, his hunting stuff.
Yep.
They got everything from 124 scale to 164
They
scale.
also have a Kyle Busch flag up there. Should I get you that for Christmas, Chipper?
Why would you want to do that?
The only issue is that I've had
That's
this
another show.
entire thing is that Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been staring at me the entire show.
Chasing it out to kiss Kane.
No, I'm good. I'll stay.
All right, so Lee, where do we normally do the Steel City Renegades from?
That would be the Growing Wings Adult Services Studios in Berea, Ohio.
Absolutely. And then who constructed that nice studio for us?
That would be. Oh God, they're bringing Dale closer. That would be Wiggins Construction and Home Improvement.
All right, and where did I just get off work at today?
That would be
The official auto parts store sponsor of.
Detroit Auto Parts.
Red Island Radio LLC. That
That's
would be
right.
Detroit Auto Parts.
And they have 2 convenient locations on the east side at 480 East 200th Street and 4941 Pearl Road, Cleveland, Ohio.
Which is also the OG studio.
That is correct. And then, Lee, if you want to get these cool Steel City Renegade shirts, where can you get them at?
Or the Money's Crazy Mind t-shirts. That would be...
Or the Redline Radio hoodies?
them too. And I think Mr. AKA No Show, the Christmas party, he also gets t-shirts there too, right?
And he gets hoodies.
Yeah.
So where do you get them from?
Incredible Keepsakes.
Call Mike and Diane. Tell them Dynamite Dave, Chipper from the sewing room, and
Just
leave.
make sure you go pick up your own order, or you'll be waiting 9 months like we do with
Yeah,
Dave.
pay for the shipping because don't ask Dave to deliver them because you'll be waiting 7, 8, and 9 months for them.
Wow.
I mean, the season's almost over, and we
Yeah.
just got the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You guys got them like 4 weeks ago.
I don't know which is worse, USPS or Dave.
You got them like 4 weeks ago. I've been back from Vegas for 4 weeks, and you got them in the week I came back from Vegas.
That's why you had them for what, 8 or 9 months,
I didn't have them for 8 or 9 months. I placed an order the week before I went there.
allegedly.
All right, Chipper. Jeez.
All right, but Chipper, we are at Pit Road Diecast.
Yes, we are.
And if the Steel City Renegade or Redline Radio fans want to come into Pit Road Diecast and buy something, which you use this a lot today,
Did you use it today?
I did.
Nice.
how much do you get off your in-store purchase if you mention the Steel City Renegades?
Not
Not
one.
one, not 2, not 3, not 4, but $5 off your purchase.
But they have to come in store.
Yes,
Okay.
come in store.
$20 purchase.
Oh, $20. Okay.
And be sure to be sure to follow them on Facebook. They do a lot of auctions and raffles on their Facebook page for that. So feel free to follow them on Facebook.
Who's that for?
I guess you need a tissue.
Who do I need? Why do I need a tissue?
Oh, he wants to display it on the...
Oh. I was about
there
to
you
say.
go.
Does that say Chipper on the... Oh, it says Thunder. Okay.
It says Thumper.
Thumper.
Okay.
Thumper.
I literally thought it said Chipper on the other side.
It says Redline Radio on it. That's the best part.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think Pit Road Diecast is more important to them than
It is.
Hey, with the last remote, the Redline Radio with the Talk About Balls guys, they were over at Dynatech.
They were. Dynatech is one of our biggest sponsors we got here at Redline Radio. Want to give them a big shout out, Glenn, and the boys over there. Gave us some nice hoodies, some T-shirts. We're gonna be back there in January.
some bomb-ass barbecue.
Some good barbecue. Also, if you use the bathroom, Chipper, and it smells like Sunny, who do you call?
That would be Smith's Drain Service,
Smith Sewer and Drain.
Sewer and Drain.
Hey, he'll get it right. He plays darts with the guys and butchers their name.
Don't play darts with them anymore, but yes.
You did play darts.
Yes, I did. Go ahead, continue.
If
Lee's got one.
if anybody wants to get a slick-looking tattoo, there's only one place you go.
Where's that at?
Would it be Therapy Inc.?
Denied.
Tattoo Therapy Inc.
I didn't know that.
What? You're
I just
supposed to know that.
I don't have the sheets in front of me.
What do you
Riley,
mean?
I
I know
apologize
therapy.
for that. He's my...
He got 3/4 of
I
it
got
right.
2/3.
Would they do a
Yeah.
tattoo of Max on my arm?
Yes.
They will, absolutely. Talk to my guy Riley, and he'll get you all hooked up. He got Dynamite Dave hooked up with a tattoo. He does all my work.
He'll be doing my new tattoo that I'm getting, so make sure you guys go check him out. Tattoo. Huh?
Where's he located?
4951 Pearl Road now, because they just moved the store.
4951 Pearl Road, right next to, or a couple doors down from Penn Station.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you guys go.
Right next to the Golden Lily.
They're in the old Race Threads building. Remember Race Threads, right? Yeah, right across from there. So the Grinch said he's going to get Santa Claus tattooed on him,
Right on his ass?
on his butt.
Ass.
Yeah, same thing. But anyway, so who else is our sponsors, Lee? Who else you
That's a
got?
different one.
The Erie Art Gallery, which is inside of Tattoo Therapy Inc.'s new location. We've got the hotline sponsor, even though there's no hotline this week, Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning Service, LLC. So if your garbage can smells like Sunny, that's who you give a call to. And when you book your first service, you get 10% off your first service. And there was this one place that you guys went to down in Pittsburgh last week. Chipper was drunk by the first quarter, from what I understand, because of it. Chipper, why don't you talk about your new best friends?
Is that Mike's Beer Bar?
Yes.
Mike's Beer Bar. Great place in Pittsburgh, just down the street from Acrisure Stadium, next door to PNC Park. Over 500 beers.
That's right. And Chipper tasted 499 of them.
I would have believed
I
it.
ran out of time. I just had to get to the game, so I couldn't taste that last one.
I guess you got a reason to go back.
Yeah.
He's
Guess I have to go
going back. He explained it to me. It's this parking garage right here. There you
Hey,
go.
should we have Sean go get Bill and we'll bring him on here before we get off here?
Yeah, if Bill wants to come on, he's more than welcome. He told me earlier today he's not hip to the new Steelers, but he can still come on and talk some Steelers football.
Let's talk football and then talk about the store.
Yeah, talk about the store. You're right. We could do that.
Sean, can you go see if you can find Bill?
I can go see if I can find out.
You want to take a few minute break here and let's see if she can find Bill real quick?
I guess we can do that.
Play some music.
Can't play music. We'll get kicked off Facebook.
All right, well, put a picture of Leave Money up there.
Come over and sing for 5 minutes.
Anthony does not.
You don't want
Anthony does not want to sing.
Hot dog jumping into the pond.
All right.
The
but-
drive-in.
And we're back.
We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
And Bill will be joining us soon, one of the proprietors
I have
here.
no, there you go. I can hear myself now.
There you go.
I can
That's
hear
all. That's all.
the
That's
rain.
all. That's all that matters.
That's right. So Bill will be jumping on here in a second. We'll be talking about what they got going on over here at Pit Road Diecast. I know they do their live auctions at
Yeah.
on
You know,
Wednesdays.
I stepped outside for a minute because it's slightly warm in here.
Slightly.
And there is nothing but trophies out there from Bill and his race team.
Bill and Anthony.
Yeah, Bill and Anthony.
Don't forget Anthony. Anthony's got some of them too.
Okay.
Oh, the trophies?
Yes.
Yes.
Sean doesn't like the. Oh, I'm just messing around.
Yeah, Sean doesn't like what, though, Dave?
That you didn't talk about Anthony.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was going somewhere else with that too.
Yeah, same here.
With my limp dick candy cane from.
Your
You said it again, so it must be true. We don't need to know about
Your
this. This
Viagra-
ain't the Lex
Viagra
Vegas show.
candy cane? Your Viagra candy cane. There's Bill.
Hey.
Bill is back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Rabbit's in the house.
Give him a nice round of applause.
Fine co-proprietor of Pit Road Diecast.
So, Bill, how you been doing, man? I know you guys been really busy here at the store. Store looks great. My third time I've been here. Last time
This is my first time, and I got to say,
My
you
first
guys
time.
got this cleaned out or not cleaned out, but cleaned up pretty good. And I like the way you got everything set up and everything in here too.
Thank you. We definitely work hard. Well, I don't know. I guess you'd say we work hard. The store continues to keep growing, so every time it comes back, every time you guys come back or whatever, it looks different. But yeah, we've grown a lot. Even in the last year, we went from a 1,200 square foot store to this place, which is 3,600 square feet. So it's been good. 2 years.
2 years and 8 months.
Oh well, that's the boss's business, not mine. I'm just the yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I get the end of the whip that cracks, so I don't get the good end.
How long have you guys actually been in business, and how'd you get started doing this?
Oh, well, we've actually been in business. I would probably say actually about 18 years now. We actually started out down the road at the Painesville Flea Market. I had a lot of crap, and that's how we started.
Is that putting it gently?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just had a lot of like 164s and stuff like that. It was my own collection, and we went to the flea market and we started in a little 8x8 spot and selling my own stuff, and then we moved into a 10x10 spot and started going to auctions and buying stuff, and then before you knew it, I'd say probably about 4 years later, we were in 2 12x12s, 2 10x10s, and 2 8x8s.
Wow.
And we had actually moved right up to the front of the flea market, and we had people walking in on Saturday morning and buying from us and turning around and walking right back out. Then racing kind of took over, and we stopped doing the flea market, but we started doing toy shows, and we started doing, well, what's now the Piston Power Show, and we started getting a following there. And then, the internet took off, thank God. And we started selling on some Facebook pages there. I think, honestly, we originally started maybe on eBay here and there, but and we started on the Facebook pages, and eventually we came down here and we moved into our old store, our old shop, and it had a small little office in the front, so we had our little store up front, and I know David's seen that one. And then we had the opportunity to move in here, and we're honestly even getting too small for where we are now. I mean, we got plans.
Don't say that.
Well, to be honest, we were actually looking before we moved into this place here. We were actually looking to either move into another store, bigger, or we were honestly looking at and opening one in another state.
Wow.
So
You might need to call an exorcist though, because Dale is like moving all around the store. I mean, It's,
Oh, Junior.
it's getting kind of creepy, man.
Last time I seen him, he was right here. Look, I'm like, oh, now he's behind us.
Yeah, he likes to wander around, and then we got Jeff at the front door of security, and we got Casey Kane in another room that watches it. And then for some reason we got a camera in a room that we don't even know what it's for, but so
Now, the first time I actually met and saw you was at the Piston Power Show last year, and I could not. Dave told me about it, and I knew Pit Road Diecast as one of the show's sponsors, but I never really knew exactly what you did. When I saw you at the Piston Power Show, I could not believe the tables and tables
You
and tables.
bring a ton
Oh my
of
God.
shit.
I don't know. Am I allowed to swear?
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I forget.
What
Fuck yes.
did
Okay.
Anthony just say?
That's usually the
Entire store.
We do.
Wow, so they bring
We-
the whole entire store with them to the Piston Power Show.
We have the best fucking display that anybody can ever have at the Piston Power Show.
How long does that take you guys to tear down and set back up, especially here? And do you guys know where everything goes back in order? How do you guys do it here? Number order?
No, honestly, when we get back here, it's whatever we pull out of the tote, and then we just start it from there. But
I'm looking at that Joker car right there.
yeah, it does. It takes us at the Piston Power Show to set up. It takes us probably a good.
8 hours.
Yeah, I would say we're there
Wow.
pretty much at like 2:00 on Thursday afternoon, and we usually leave about 8 or so, and finally get some dinner and go back to the hotel because we stay in Middleburg Heights during the show. We don't come all the way
Yeah,
back home.
I would hope so. That's,
Yeah,
that's a drive.
That's a hike, man.
Yeah.
yeah, and then we go in Friday morning. We're allowed in at like 8:00, so we go in and finish. We usually pull in the cars. Usually, what we try and do before we leave there on Thursday night is have everything in position, and then we come in Friday morning and start pulling the cars out of the boxes because, I mean, it's the same way at the store here. Is we have the cars out of the boxes down there so people can see what they're looking at instead of, us taking the time. And we are probably one of the busiest vendors down there.
You guys were the first time I ever saw you guys at the Piston Power Show was last year too, and you guys were rocking pretty much that whole weekend. So
Saturday, we started right when the doors opened,
Yeah.
and we did not sit down until about 15 minutes before the show ended.
Yeah.
Nonstop. I mean, we were kind of worried,
Yep.
but because it had been a while with the show with COVID and stuff like that, so we were kind of worried on how we were going to do business-wise. Friday was really slow, so it was kind of still we're like, okay, maybe we're not losing money, but it's like But then Saturday hit, and it was like, oh my
Right.
God,
that audience Saturday was nuts.
it was.
It'll
Oh,
be,
go ahead.
it'll be a lot more this year with the revampment of the IX.
And they're extending the hours this year for Friday too.
Yeah, and they're extending Saturday's hours too. They just
Yep.
broke that. So
Well, what time are they going to?
they're
Because
going
they
9 a.m. on Saturday until 10 o'clock at night, and then on Friday they're going from 3 to 10.
No, they're opening at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Or 10 till 10.
are they opening 10 to the public? Because I
Yes.
know that's usually when the vocational kids are there. But now, see, last year in
I thought it was to
2022,
the public.
they actually
yeah,
cut the
they
hours.
said but because the email that we got, because we're back there again this year too, they said that they were extending Friday's hours to help with the crowd that they had on Saturday, because they said they had almost 1 million people show up on Saturday last year.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Traffic was horrid.
I know when
Yeah.
I know when I was going there on Saturday. Was Saturday when
Yeah,
you
we
did
were
the show?
Saturday night. Yeah,
When I got off Brook Park and then come up 237, the line from the IX Center was from the IX Center all the way to the airport, past the old Continental Terminal. That's how far the line was backed up. It was insane.
yeah. There were some people that were telling us they waited 2.5 hours to
Yeah.
get in on Saturday.
yeah. We had Steve Legursky, the man that runs the Piston Power Show. He came on with Gary Wenner on Sunday morning, and he was saying that next year they have to do something different because of the crowd that they had. That they knew it was going to be a big crowd because it was the first show in 2 years or a year.
Yeah.
But they said that was completely overwhelming, and even the IX Center was just like, holy shit.
And see, they also shortened the hours last year.
Yeah.
Because now I'm glad they're going back to 10 o'clock because when we were there, I think it was Friday night, They said, "Oh, we're getting ready to close. The lights went out," and I'm like, "Holy shit! It's only like 9 o'clock." So we were used to being there from 10 till 10.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing. We've been doing the Autorama show since it was down at the convention center.
I remember those days.
And started with one table, one spot. Now we're four spots, and yeah, we got a lot of packed in there, and it's amazing because people can still move. Our setup's going to be a little bit different this year because we're not in a square like we have been the last couple of years. They actually have us
they
in a
moved
straight
us
line.
too, so we got to learn what our new spot's going to look like too.
So I mean, we'll see what it is. We always take enough stuff, but yeah, we packed the entire store. Rent a U-Haul, pack the entire store. Nothing's left here.
And you guys also have your own Facebook page, Pit Road Diecast and Pit Road Diecast Family, correct? Is it there?
Family show and tell page.
Okay.
Yes.
And on there, you guys do auctions, you do mystery boxes, all kinds of different things to sell a product or auction up product. And as you and I talked earlier, you guys do a lot of stuff for charities, which I think is really cool. You guys get some of these guys that'll buy, they'll buy the car, but then they say take that and just donate it back to the charities, various charities that you guys do. Can you talk a little bit more about the charities that you guys help out?
Well, yeah, first of all, we wouldn't be able to do it if we didn't have our family. And I'm sorry, did I scream in your ear? Yeah, we have a very strong family. We don't like the word customer because then it seems like you're after the money. And we're not about the money. We're about helping people and getting people what they want. And with the charities, we have a lot of our family members that do purchase cars either on our lives on Saturdays or during the auctions and donate them back to these charities. And we're actually starting a new charity this year. It's vamped off of what we used to do, and that was for a motorcycle club out of Florida. Now, two of those guys broke away. And they were very strong family members, and we decided to follow them because they still support us, where the old group that we were doing the fundraisers for all of a sudden stopped supporting us. So we have to go with the loyalty, and that's what we're big on too.
Sure.
So Five Sons we do in February, but that's going to move in 2024, or it'll move more in the springtime. Five Sons is out of Florida. We're in Ohio, and we don't even do Ohio charities. But Five Sons is out of Florida, and they do a lot of work with vets. They do a program called Honor Flights.
I've
I
heard
know
about
a lot
those.
of people have heard of those.
Yep.
They do those. They do homes for heroes, which helps with homeless vets and stuff like that to get them shelter and stuff. They also do a young man named Carter, who does have cancer. Very sick young man. They do a lot with him, and they're going to continue that with their new organization, Five Sons. And then that is we call it our spring auction, our spring charity. Our fall one is a company called Hope Before Heaven out of Western New York. And they basically raise money to help people that can't pay their vet bills. They also bring in dogs that are like senior dogs, hearing or seeing impaired dogs that nobody wants. They house, I think it's about a dozen dogs right now that they take care of. Just the husband and wife, Linda and her husband. So that is the second one we do, and that is even starting to grow. Our Five Sons auction will be 4 to 5 days long. Our Hope Before Heaven auction is getting to be that big as well too. So.
So when you do these breaks and they say donate the cars back to the charity, you actually take the cars. They say donate to charity, and then take them and they actually bid on these cars again, which then the money goes back towards the actual charity.
Then it goes to the charity, yeah. And a lot of these guys and gals that donate the cars, they'll bid on it again during the charity and try and win the car again. Doesn't always happen that way, but it's part of the fun, and everybody knows that the money on those nights are going to the charity. We don't keep a penny. We basically close our doors for that week for Five Sons. So we're not only giving, to the charity and helping out the charity, we're also giving up our time, our business. We're closed, and that's just the way it is our way of giving back.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, when I saw them at first, when I joined your group, when it was getting on some of those things that you do on there, they're saying donate it back to the charity. I'm like, well, what do you mean? What is this all about? And then the more and more that I started watching it and getting to them, and then you and I talked even more about what exactly that meant, I thought, that's outstanding that these people are just donating the cars. They're already spending their money as it is on the car to get into it. They win the car, and they say donate to the charity, and then you auction them off. So I thought the fact that these people just donate, give it back, even though they've already spent their money, they tell you to just donate it back to the charity,
Yep.
and then they're either going to try to win it back by spending more of their money that they could have already kept the car anyway. But the fact that they donate the money again back to the charity, I think is awesome.
A prime instance was in past Wednesday night's auction. Our final car of the night, we do 12 cars a night on our Wednesday night auctions. And we were doing a little fun gimmick game to, and any car that went over $50, I ate. We had a bag of Doritos roulette chips, and some of them were Cool Ranch, and some of them were like a Fiery Ranch, and you didn't know what you were getting until you ate it. So we just
My
had
asshole hurts just thinking about it.
Oh, it was awesome to watch him do this.
we had a little game, and they said, just having fun. If a car goes over $50, I'll eat a chip. Car goes over $100, I'll eat 3 chips at a time.
Yep.
And then, we had a couple chips going and stuff like that. And then the final car of the night, I made a deal that, I knew. I know when I put a challenge out there, obviously you've all seen me in a dress. When I put a challenge out there, the family loves to make me eat it. So, and
Yeah, you had to know when you put this out there, you knew that somebody was going to make you do this.
And I left it to the family and said, how much do you think it would be? Because we still had like half a bag of chips left.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody wanted me to crunch them all up and eat the rest of the bag, and at one time without nothing to drink afterwards. So I put it to the family and live and say, how much do you think we should let the car go for? And the car went for $200.
Yep.
And it was donated back.
Yep. And it was wasn't it the Truex autograph?
Yes, it was an autographed 2022 Truex car.
Yeah. Wasn't it a win?
Yeah, it was Richmond win,
Yeah,
the
Richmond
patriotic one.
Matthew Feathers just commented. He said, "Pit Road Diecast family loves Bill for sure."
We get a lot of support, and you know what? Here's the good thing about us, and we get a lot of support from our family, but in return, we also support our family. I mean, we have a lot of family members that go through a lot of personal issues, and I know most of them because they know they can talk to me, and it's not, like I said, it's not about what we put in our pocket, because I'll stick to this 100%. None of this money goes in our pocket. 50% goes back into buying product. 50% goes into our race program because it's advertising.
Nice.
So, Bill, the one thing that I know is that you are not only a sufferer of mental health issues, but you are also a supporter of trying to get recognition for mental health issues. Was there ever a time where you thought maybe, because there's not really that many charities out there that deal with mental health issues. I mean, especially with the ones that you and I suffer from, with the depression, anxiety, things like that. Have you ever thought maybe starting your own, or like trying to find a way to raise money for some of those mental health issues to try to get more awareness to just what it is like going through depression and anxiety and things like that? If you don't have it, you don't know what it's like. And I try to tell my wife that all the time.
I really haven't thought about doing anything on my own. But as far as anything like that goes, this past summer, since we did not race, June, July, and August, we did pick a charity, and 50% of every car sold during an auction went to that charity. And we did Wounded Warrior Project.
Okay.
We did Save 22, which is the mental health and military.
We actually worked with them.
Yeah. And then we did do a local. We don't do very much local because then we got everybody reaching their hand out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We did do for August. We did do a local mental health facility. But I mean, it's not only just that. Like last December, a family here in Perry lost everything, all their Christmas presents and everything else. We did. I forget how we did it, but we ended up raising like $3,500 through our auctions just to give to that family. And we didn't do it under Pit Road Diecast. We went to the local people that were helping them and said, "This is from Santa," to get the kids' presents back and stuff like that.
Nice.
But you know, when you start doing a lot of that stuff, then you got everybody and their mother coming out wanting it, and you know, we do take some of them into consideration. But as far as that, I would love to try and start something in mental health, but it's really hard, especially for me to try and do it because half the time I don't even know who I am or where I am. It's like, yeah. So, but I have thought about a lot of things in that issue. Yeah.
Well, one last question for me, and then do we want to do picks and then get off here so we can crazy money crazy mind here shortly?
Monies.
We don't have
Money's crazy mind.
we don't have to do
Money.
picks.
All right. So I got to ask, how did you feel Thursday morning after finishing off that half a bag of chips for $200?
Actually, I was fine. I mean, the bad part was it was so dry. I really wanted something to drink, but after that, I mean, I'll do anything. We've put it out there. Of course, like I said, you guys seen me shaved bare and in a dress for a day at the Piston Power Show. For that, not that same auction, but for our spring charity auction last year.
You had to bring a Bubba Wallace car onto my show the last time.
That
you
was
were on
another
it.
family loss.
So wait a minute. You said you'll do anything.
Within reason.
Okay, so you'll do anything. So, would you do the hot chip challenge?
I don't think I would do that.
Okay.
Because of the simple fact, and I know this might sound like a cop-out answer, but this is something that I would look at. I would be afraid that if something hard started to happen, my anxiety would
worries.
kick in.
That's
and
very understandable.
It might be a little bit worse than, something else like that. I mean, like last year in the Ronin auction, if we had, in fact, I don't know if you can see in the picture, but the tailgate piece behind us up on the board, if that went over $2,000, I was going to strip down to my shorts and jump out in the snowbank. And it went for $2,001.
Wow. So here we go. I'm gonna volunteer Chipper for you. So
nice.
so since he likes hot stuff. So the next car that you guys sell in your auction over $300, Chipper's going to do the Hot Chip Challenge live on Steel City Renegades. Yes.
No, I will not do that single chip. No.
Why?
I've heard too many horror stories about that. I think that's way.
But you said last night there was nothing hot enough.
I didn't.
You did. I have witnesses. Kyle and Justin were there.
And
Well-
it's on video.
Yes.
Well, no. I said that.
Now, see, I have heard that the whole thing behind that is not to inhale while you're doing it, while you're eating it.
That's part of it. But you also got to eat them really, really fast, so you don't have to worry about the pain of it all until after you're done.
So you refuse to do it.
I'm not doing a single chip one. No.
Wow.
Wait a minute. $300.
I mean, you got to
$300. If they get a car that's... Sean says she doesn't blame you. Can you get
You
a,
have to wear gloves when you touch those.
Can you get a
chips.
car to sell for $300? You think?
I get a card.
Can the Pit Road Diecast family get a car to sell for $300?
We've had a single car for $1,700. So
what were you about to counter offer with that?
500.
He says 500, and he'll do the Hot Chip Challenge live on Steel City Renegades.
Chipper, you have to wear gloves when you do that.
I know.
Lee, quit talking him out of it.
well,
Talk
here,
him into
how
it.
How about this, Chipper? How about this? Let's set it, and I'll help you out. All right, we'll set it for the charity auction. That way, the money for
Hot
Five Sons in February. If it does that, and you want to, that way the money doesn't go in my pocket, it doesn't go into Pit Road Diecast pockets, it goes to the charity.
Okay, so that's in February?
February.
All right.
Well, it starts February 20th.
And
We'll
when does
have
it
to figure
end?
out- But either Thursday or Friday.
Okay,
Whenever we
so-
sell out of everything.
So instead of doing it live on Steel City Renegades, he'll do it live at Steel City Renegades at the IX Center.
When's the Piston Power Show, though?
March 31st through April 2nd.
And we're doing Steel City Renegades live from there.
Our draft special.
Are you cool with that?
Sean, what?
How about if we split the chip in half and Chipper does half and Bill does?
I don't think you want Bill doing havoc. From what I read,
How about we do that? Will Anthony get in on it? He's part of the Pit Road Diecast family too. He could just sub for Bill. Are you okay with that, Anthony?
You want to do half or a full one each?
Oh, yes, yes. I like that one better. I like that. He threw that one out there.
he's going to do a full one.
He'll do a full one. You do a full one. He does a full one.
When's the show scheduled for? I mean, when
April.
Well, I know that,
1st.
but when is
He's
the
talking
Steel,
about
the-
our show.
Yeah,
when's the Renegade show
we're
gonna be?
April 1st, 6 to 7 p.m. I think.
Yes.
At this
Is that
point,
Saturdays?
Yeah.
Saturday.
at this point we can figure something out. But if it's for their charity, and yeah, we'll figure something out.
Well, something like that I wouldn't have on a normal Monday night because then, like I said, then the,
Right,
when the
that's
money
me.
goes to Pit Road
You're
Diecast.
saying one of your
I'd
things
rather-
in February
yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yep.
The one in February or
Yep.
whatever. We can figure something out. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the one in February I'm cool with, as long as you guys are cool with. So one chip apiece. What are we setting?
No idea what you're going to do yourself into.
What are we setting the bar to? We'll let Sean decide on what we're setting the bar to. What's the price that we got to get for both of them to eat one chip each of the Hot Chip Challenge live on Steel City Renegades from the Piston Power Show?
15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes in either direction. You can go to Madison or you can go
Bring a gallon. No, because it won't happen here. It's going to happen at the IX Center.
So Middleburg Heights, Southwest Hospital. Yeah.
15
Yeah, wait,
minutes.
there's a hospital right down the road in Berea.
Wow.
So what-
Two of us doing. I think that's got to be at least.
What's the bar, Sean? What are we setting it at? We got to hype this up too.
That would make it even better or worse for you even. I've had a full Carolina Reaper.
The pepper itself.
Yes.
And they actually make a Carolina Reaper Pocky one chip now.
I've had the full legit pepper and that
I've gone
was
as
terrible.
I've gone as hot as
Terrible as in hot, or terrible
I
as in?
enjoyed every second of it.
I've gone as far as did the. I've eaten a ghost pepper and I've eaten a Scotch bonnet, but I have not had a Carolina Reaper.
All right, so we got that all set. Sean's thinking of a number.
I was white as a ghost eating the pepper.
I can't get much whiter.
What is our record right now?
2001.
Yeah, I'm talking about for a car though. I mean, we knew that was going to go high.
We want to make it a grand?
1700.
500 each?
I think 1,000 sounds fair.
$1,000 each.
No. $1,000 on the car.
Okay.
$1,000 on a car. Since,
Well, that's
since
what you
Chipper-
said.
Yeah, since Chipper was willing to go 500 for one chip, and now we got Anthony involved. I think $1,000 for the charity for Five Sons, because I can tell you right now, you guys are going to be eating a fucking chip. Because I'll tell you right now,
I don't doubt it.
I'll tell you right now,
I don't
Lord
doubt
Wolf, Lord Wolf will,
I've seen your guys' stuff on
yeah.
Facebook, so I know.
Yeah,
Lord Wolf, Mike Sheets.
yeah.
Jerry, Jen.
Wow. So do you two know
Maybe
what's?
we wouldn't have a problem getting $750 each then.
I'll tell you, I don't know. They'd like to see me suffer. So, I mean, to see other people suffer, I might even bid on that one.
Lee said he might bid on that one too.
See? There you go.
All right, well, so we'll definitely do something. We'll just figure out the details, and then we'll get on Renegades and Pit Road Diecast and let everybody know what's going on. But it's definitely going to be me and Anthony each doing one chip,
Full chip.
full chip.
Make sure you put that out there. Full chip.
And that's just one chip in a bag, right?
Yeah, it's like in a
So-
tombstone.
The 2022 Pocky one chip challenge is now a scorpion pepper.
Wow.
As long as I have milk afterwards,
I was just gonna say, make sure everybody brings a gallon of milk.
Well, I have one in the cooler. Just remind us. We'll keep it at the.
One of the few times that I'll drink milk all by itself.
I know PRD will be live for that one.
Well,
You guys will have to man the booth by yourself or something.
well,
Maybe
to
Sean will go.
Chipper and Anthony for doing that. Kudos to you guys.
Absolutely.
Going for the charity and whatnot. Hopefully, let's try and get that up to 50. I know Sean said 1,000. Bill said 1,000, but what?
What?
Shar, $2,000 to make him eat it. I'll bring the milk.
Is Shard donating 1,000 of Chipper's money?
I'm like, where are you getting 2,000? Well,
No, I think 1,000 is fair.
is a good start. Starting
I know the exact car that I'll put up for that. I know the exact car.
and you said we'll start off at 1,000 as the starting opening bid, right?
No.
So
That's
it's
how much it has
No,
to
Oh,
be.
no,
if
it
it
has
makes
to sell. It
1,000.
has to make $1,000.
so you're gonna start off at some point, but it's got to make it to
Yep.
that $1,000.
It
Yep.
has to start at least $25.
Oh, the car I have in mind is going to start at about 150 or 200 bucks.
Okay.
But we could figure out. But the fact is, Anthony and I are going to do the one chip thing.
Yep.
And then donate for the donate money for the charity. But we'll figure out the details and all that stuff.
So we were only going to go an hour and a half. And we're going about 2.
That's why we're trying to get done.
We're okay. We can go to Steel City Renegade or Crazy Mind of Lee Money.
No, it's fine. It's cool. But let's end this with some football talk here,
Yep.
real quick. So, Bill, tomorrow night's game, or tomorrow afternoon's game, I should say, because we don't get flexed to Saturday. Who you got? Are Pittsburgh Steelers or the Carolina Kitty Cats?
I still have to say Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't care. Win or lose, I've always been a fan, so I don't know, all the way back to Bradshaw days, so Rocky Blyer, all those guys. There you go. You remember that name, Dave?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Rocky Blyer, number 20.
Yep.
Dave?
Who do I got?
Yep.
You know I want to pick Pittsburgh, but man, the way we played last week.
I think we need to make it a rule. You guys are not allowed to go to Ravens games anymore.
I say 2010 Carolina.
Wow.
Carolina 20-17.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know we were supposed to give a score. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, you're good. You're good. Pittsburgh, unless Kerry comes back for Carolina.
Nice. There's an old school name, Kerry Collins.
What college?
Penn State.
All right. So here's my thinking on this,
Barry
and
Foster? He used to play for the Steelers, and he was the running back for the Panthers.
Yes.
here's my thinking on this. This year has been wishy-washy. We're winning games that we're not supposed to win. We're losing games that we should have won handily. This might be one of those games where we should lose, but we're probably going to win. I understand it's Mitch. I understand there's a possible...
I'm not saying that because of Mitch. I just want us to lose out. Higher draft pick. That's what I want.
Except for the last game of the season.
Oh, yeah. Last game we
all
can
right.
win.
So, I mean, look at the remaining schedule. We've got Carolina tomorrow. We've got the Raiders on Christmas Eve. We've got the Ratbirds again on New Year's Day. And then we've got the team from First Energy Stadium the week after that. We don't even know when that game is going to happen yet because nobody can make up their mind.
NFL pick a day so we can book our hotel.
Right?
You know, that is the funny part because I've been looking for tickets for it, honestly.
It
And
keeps saying, like, originally it was
The Sunday game.
January 8th. Now it's to be determined.
Yeah, now they don't know what day.
Yeah.
Or even a
Chipper,
time.
Chipper brought that up to me on the way down. He's like, did you see that they changed the schedule? I'm like, what? Because we were like, no, it's Saturday. He's like, no, they changed the schedule. I'm like, no, they didn't. He was like, they changed the schedule.
Yeah, because even my wife was just
the
like,
whole week 18 schedule is yet to be determined.
I mean, what are they waiting for? To Deshaun Watson to find a new massage therapist? I mean, what's going on here?
They're trying to make good TV ratings. They are.
We are.
They try to make good TV ratings.
What the
I get that, but
What TV ratings is Pittsburgh and Team in First Energy going to bring? We both suck.
they've got their new 5-star quarterback that's going to take them to the Super Bowl.
So who you got? Who you picking?
All right, so for tomorrow, I'm going to say it could very well be Pittsburgh wins this game because we are winning games we're not supposed to win. I mean, we beat the defending AFC champions, right?
Yes.
With Cincinnati in week 1.
Yes.
Lee, that's like many moons ago.
Yes.
It's many moons ago. But you're right. We beat them 23-20.
Okay. And we should have beat the team from First Energy, and they handed us our asses.
Yes.
Yes.
We should have beat the Ratbirds, but they handed us our asses.
They didn't hand us our ass. We threw 2 interceptions in the red zone. Both Mitch's fault, so Mitch cost us the game.
All right,
It
so
wasn't an
the Pillsbury Doughboy came in at quarterback, and it cost us the game.
Yeah.
I'm throwing turnovers.
Who you picking?
Pittsburgh.
Score.
I don't know.
Bill didn't. We didn't make Bill.
21-14.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna say 24-21.
Okay.
24-21.
Pittsburgh.
And
Paul says 17-14. Steelers without or go out with a win.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be ecstatic with you.
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This season has been so wishy-washy. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised we squeaked out the wins we squeaked out. Because this team has not been good this year. I think this team's worse than last year's.
Yeah, because the record's worse. No quarterback. We haven't had a good quarterback since Kenny went out last week. We need to get rid of Matt Canada. Hopefully when we're down there, Chipper, he needs a ride home.
Who, Matt Canada?
Yes.
Well, not a ride home, but well, yeah. Hope he needs a ride home, and then we just back up to the river and
Dump him.
Dump him and Mason off.
Yeah. Same time. Make sure it's out of the back of Chipper's truck and you got his fingerprints.
Just have to make sure you take the license plate off my truck.
What, Braves won? There we go. It's like, whatever. I was trying not to put your real license plate out on YouTube, buddy. But I mean,
He doesn't care.
I don't care.
All right. So for Lee motherfucking money, for Chipper, Grandpa Sewing Room Nenendal, for Chipper's beautiful.
I'm sorry. Who's going to need a ride home from Who's going to need a ride home from Pittsburgh after the Clowns game, and then who am I going to drop off where?
Hey, I'll go in the river.
okay, my face is as red as a fucking tomato.
For Chipper's beautiful wife, Shar. You don't ever give her any credit, Chipper. For Bill, for Sean, for Anthony, for Paul, for everybody at Pit Road Diecast, all the Pit Road
Bill.
Diecast family.
Thanks, Bill.
Make sure you guys tune in to their auction in February. Oh, and Sonny.
And Sonny.
I forgot he's sleeping over there. Quiet, nice. Came in here, he barked at us earlier because I was hitting Chipper. Good protection dog right there. So make sure you guys check out the Pit Road Diecast.
But
charity.
Chipper's only been here twice, but the
Yeah.
dog knows to protect him.
The charity in February. Let's get that card that they're auctioning off that week up over $1,000. So Chipper and Anthony will take the one chip challenge live
Are
at the
we
Piston
going to have
Power.
paramedics on standby at the Hayek Center?
I don't know.
They do have medical service there, so.
Chip, Lee knows mouth to mouth, so you're all right.
The fuck I don't.
I'm sure he does.
You wouldn't save Chipper and Bill if they needed it.
I'd save Bill before I save Chipper.
Oh,
Well, thank you, sir.
wow.
Well, then that means no Renegades next year.
We might not have Renegades next year anyway because Dave's going to be hosting his new Raider show.
Yeah. So, on behalf of everybody, thank you, Sean, Bill, Anthony, Sonny, Paul, everybody for having us here out at Pit Road Diecast. Remember, come out here and visit them. What's the address, Bill?
Aren't you
3649?
supposed to know that? 3645 Lane Road
Lane Road.
Extension Unit 201,
Thank you.
Perry, Ohio.
And yes, on
44081.
Google Maps, it does show you a picture of a fucking boat dock.
I gotta look that up.
Do not follow the Google Maps. Do not follow that. Have a good night, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dave Wolanchek, the owner of Redline Radio LLC, and I'm going to take a job here at Redline Radio.
Pause. Rewind.
I am a 2015 graduate of the Ohio Media School, and one day I had a dream to own a radio station. Well, not only do I have one, but now I have two.
Warning, Money's Crazy Mind contains language that may not... Listeners, is advised, but will be completely... Warning, Money's Crazy Mind contains language that may not be suitable for all listeners. Discretion is advised, but will be completely ignored.
Okay. So apparently I'm an idiot, and you guys probably heard all of that noise while I'm trying to figure out why I couldn't hear shit on my end. So I apologize about all of that, but we are back. We are live from Pit Road Diecast. I guess I'm only doing an hour because Bill and everybody likes talking their asses off on Steel City Renegades, but that's cool because I was not expecting to be here today. Well, I mean, I was expecting to be here for Renegades, but I was not expecting to be here for Money's Crazy Mind. Originally, we were going to have Grape and the Grapevine here, but some things happened where Grape wasn't able to make it. Since I was going to be here anyway, we're like, we'll just do another episode of Money's Crazy Mind, even though I was just on the air last night. But, speaking of last night, something amazing actually happened. We were talking about all this charity stuff that Bill and the team over at Pit Road Diecast here does. Hey, I just noticed there's a Kyle Busch flag behind me. That's got to make Chipper just angry to all hell. Oh, man. That's a collector's item now for several reasons, but we'll talk about that later. But speaking of last night, there was a charity event that went on that I was very excited for, and I just have to say, fuck you, Paramount Plus, for going out halfway through Metallica's set last night during the All Within My Hands live stream and making me lose my 5.1 Dolby surround sound on Paramount Plus and go over to YouTube where I only got 2.0 sound. So get your shit fixed, Paramount Plus, or I'm not giving you my $10 a month anymore. You know what? Stewie's got something for you, Paramount Plus. You suck. But no, it was an amazing show last night by Metallica. Never really got to hear Metallica be acoustic before. None of the past years All Within My Hand shows have been live streamed. So it was definitely pretty cool to see the All Within My Hand show and hear Metallica acoustic. I actually just downloaded the set list from it because I'm hoping that Metallica decides to put out a Blu-ray or a DVD of it. Since they live streamed it, I don't see why they wouldn't. But let's take a look here. So the acoustic set was Blackened, which was really interesting to hear acoustic, because when you think of the song Blackened, you don't think of it in an acoustic setting. But then they did the Unforgiven. They did the Thin Lizzy song Borderline. Then they did another song called It's Killing Me that was a cover. I don't know what band that was by. And then they closed it out with yet another Thin Lizzy song, but a song that they've done before, Whiskey in the Jar. And then that was the end of their acoustic set. And then they came back with an electric set. And they did Call of Cthulhu, Harvester of Sorrow, Holier Than Thou. They brought back, for the first time doing it electric, see you later, Chipper, All Within My Hands, which they actually did a combination of the acoustic version that they've done for the past couple of years since they named their foundation All Within My Hands. So it doesn't sound exactly like it sounds on the Saint Anger DVD, or the CD, I'm sorry. But the way that they did it was really, really cool, and I'm hoping that they put a Blu-ray out of this concert because it was amazing. And then they went into Creeping Death, Enter Sandman, the world premiere of their brand new single, which I love. I don't care what anybody says about it. I love Lux Eterna. They world premiered Lux Eterna last night during the All Within My Hand show. That was really cool. And then Kirk did a little guitar solo thing like he always does. Then they did Nothing Else Matters with St. Vincent, which I'm sorry, but that sucked. And then they closed the show out with Seek and Destroy. So the All Within My Hand show was really good. And if you guys don't know what the All Within My Hands Foundation is, it's not just trying to make Saint Anger sound better than the album actually was. They are raising money for kids to be able to go to trade schools to actually learn a trade instead of wasting money at actual colleges and adding to the national debt of student loan that's already in the trillions, that especially kids from low income areas and low income families that will never ever be able to pay that money back. They teamed up with Mike Rowe with his foundation, which also does a very similar thing. And they actually brought out a recipient of the Metallica scholarship, and she thanked Metallica for making her a badass woman because she now presses sheet metal, and she's making a living. And she said that she actually went to college twice, learned shit, went to a trade school, got the scholarship through Metallica, and has actually been able to pay back all of her student loan debt, plus be able to raise her family on that as well. So that's really fucking amazing. Kudos to Metallica for doing that. They also brought out Tony Hawk, who was raising money for his charity that helps build skate parks for kids in low-income areas, because he said, I felt like an outsider, but the only place I ever felt at home was at a skate park. And of course they had Metallica blaring the entire time that they were there, kids headbanging on the side. They also brought out Robert Downey Jr., who is a huge Metallica fan and also works for the All Within My Hands Foundation, helps them raise money for that. Dude, okay. I obviously have not seen RDJ since his appearances in the Avengers movie. Dude is bald as a cue ball, no facial hair whatsoever. I'm like, is that Robert Downey Jr. or Steve from Blue's Clues? Like, what am I looking at right here? But it was really cool. You know, the whole thing was hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. The man is still not funny. I'm sorry. The funniest Jimmy Kimmel's ever been was on The Man Show, and we all know that was decades ago. Dude is just not funny. And the show was opened by Greta Van Fleet, and I didn't watch the Greta Van Fleet performance, but did hear good things about it. Did hear good things about the Greta Van Fleet set. So, you know, kudos to Metallica for making that concert available. I do know that they did say that it was going to be available on the Metallica YouTube channel to watch later. Hoping it'll be on Paramount Plus so I can watch it. And that was the crazy thing, right? So, like, I have Paramount Plus because it's the home of nothing but Star Trek and Criminal Minds. So I've been going back and I've been rewatching Star Trek: The Next Generation because I'm trying to get myself into the mindset to watch Picard. And like I turned off the Metallica concert on YouTube since I couldn't finish it on Paramount Plus. Went right back into my Paramount Plus app. Went right back into the episode of Star Trek TNG that I was watching before Metallica started, and it played just fine. So clearly it was something with the live stream. But like I watch football games on Paramount Plus. Like if the Steelers are available on Paramount Plus, I watch it on Paramount Plus because the commercials on Paramount Plus are better than regular television. And they don't show half the commercials that they show on regular television. It just says your show will be right back. So I know that live streaming on Paramount Plus works. So what do you got against Metallica Paramount Plus? Like I was watching it on Paramount Plus on my phone, and I went to put it on my TV, hit the button to watch live, and it just goes spin, 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 spin. Nope, sorry, can't play. I don't get it. Suck. Yeah, tell them again, Stewie.
You suck.
Thank you. All right, But yeah, no, that was the All Within My Hands concert. I really dug it. I dug the acoustic set, you know, and James did actually say that a lot of people thought that Saint Anger actually stood for Street Anger because it was always abbreviated ST.Anger for everything that they did back in 2003 when that album came out. But I am one of the few people on the planet that actually like and admire that album for what it was. That album dropped. I think I've told this story before, but we'll tell it again anyway. I don't care. That album dropped the day I graduated high school. And hearing some of the songs that were on there, Invisible Kid, Dirty Window, My World, Shoot Me Again, and songs like that, it just reminded me of everything that I had gone through of the 4 years in high school. Frantic, Saint Anger, pretty much the album from beginning to end. Because I think I'd named just about every song on the album by this point. You know, and so we were at rehearsal for commencement, and we were downtown Cleveland, so we walked over to Tower City to get lunch, and there was, I think it was an FYE in the mall. And I walk in, and I'm just like, where's Metallica? Where's the Saint Anger album? I turn around, and there's a whole wall of nothing but fucking Metallica shit. And I'm just like, I want one of those. And because I bought the album day of release, FYE was actually giving out Saint Anger t-shirts, Metallica wristbands, things like that. So I walked out with a slew of Metallica shit. But the best part of it was I got the Saint Anger album. I always had my CD player with me, which is probably why I got suspended quite a bit in high school, because I was always listening to my headphones instead of walking down the hallway the way I was supposed to. But sorry, I'm a music head. What can I say? And so I threw my headphones on, and I'm just listening to the album, and I could not turn it off. It just made me remember everything. And it basically summed up that 4 years of my life going through high school in ways that people may not ever understand, especially Invisible Kid, Unnamed Feeling, the songs like that. So hearing that Metallica is finally starting to embrace some of what Saint Anger was now, holy shit. Next year marks the 20th anniversary of Saint Anger. Holy crap. Wow. What a mind fuck. Well, yeah, I guess that would make sense because the album came out the year I graduated high school. Next year's my 20-year high school reunion. Guess what I'm not going to? But no, man. I mean, yeah. So, kudos to Metallica for finally embracing Saint Anger. When they were in Pittsburgh, the last time they were just in Pittsburgh, they actually did the song Saint Anger, and I think they also did Some Kind of Monster. But like I said, they did All Within My Hands last night at the All Within My Hands benefit show. So, kudos to Metallica for finally embracing that whole thing. But yeah, that was the All Within My Hands show. That was really cool. I want to talk to, because we are on Facebook right now. First time in a long time, the Steel City Renegades have been on Facebook, and I'm just using the same stream for both shows. I want to talk to Facebook right now. When you send me a notification that pretty much says that my entire episode that live streamed last night was banned for copyright purposes, I want to know how the words that are coming out of my mouth are somebody else's copyright. Can you answer me that question? Because first you block me from being able to share my content as a content creator, and then you turn around and you send me a notification that's literally 5 pictures long that says your show. Here's one of them. Basically, and like reading through every single one of those pictures that Facebook sent me, you're pretty much telling me that my entire 2-hour live stream that I did yesterday is somebody else's copyrighted material. And I played 5 minutes of music, and I have written permission from the band whose song I played to play it. Not only that, but they're a local Cleveland band who has no copyright on their music. So tell me again what I did to violate copyright claim. Oh, that's right. Nothing.
Facebook's notorious for that.
Well, I'm also banned from sharing my show because I'm misrepresenting the radio station that I run. So to everybody that's out there that's watching this special bonus edition of Money's Crazy Mind, this is the last episode of Money's Crazy Mind that will be featured on Facebook. I'm going to go to Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube exclusively from here on out. I will continue to share the link to the YouTube channel on the Money's Crazy Mind Facebook page, but other than that, I'm done. I'm done with Facebook because they're threatening to turn off my personal Facebook account, stating that I am misappropriating Redline Radio and Money's Crazy Mind when I own Money's Crazy Mind. It's my face on the picture. How is it not my material? This is what I'm not understanding. So if you guys want the uncut version of my show, you can head on over to Spotify. I'll put the uncut video up on my Spotify channel, and you guys can watch the entire episode uncut on Spotify. Just type in Money's Crazy Mind, and you can find my show there. Or if you want to listen to the audio-only version of it, you can go to my website, podpage.com/monies-crazy-mind, or you can go to Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, Radio Public, Spotify, or Anchor, and you can find Money's Crazy Mind there. You know where you're not going to find it? Fucking Facebook. So fuck you, Zuckerberg. And like I told Dave this morning on the way out to Pit Road Diecast, I hope they find out that you were one of the bastards on Epstein Island and you get anally raped in prison. That's right. Zuckerberg pissed me off. Sorry, I had to go on that little rant. Hey, that's the second time in the history of Money's Crazy Mind that I've had to cuss out Facebook.
Where does it get you, though?
Well, the first time it got me a 700-page email that I read live on the air.
Can we appeal to Elon Musk to buy Facebook?
I said the same thing, but then if you think about it, the craziest part about that whole thing is that now the people that still work for Twitter are trying to block Elon Musk at any turn, and I'm like, he's the owner of the company. If he tells you to do it, do it. Like, I'm sorry, you may not be able to. I don't agree with everything that Dave tells me to do, but if Dave tells me to jump off a bridge, I'm gonna have to jump off a bridge. Or at least I'll throw a dummy off the bridge that looks like me. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand the gall that Facebook has to tell a content creator, and literally, like, I'll show everybody, I'll put them up on the Money's Crazy Mind page. But if you look at the breakdown of it, it literally states every minute of my show was violating some form of copyright. The only possible thing that I can think of that I did that could throw up a copyright warning, but it would only been 30 seconds of video, was when I showed a trailer for a movie I was reviewing. And then I had the poster of the movie up. Other than that, it's the same backgrounds I've used every week. My asylum, the Nurse Ratchet's office is what I call it, and the padded room. Nothing else changed from my show. Oh, wait a minute. Are you going to try to get me for the 2 seconds of the Ghostbusters theme that I played during a commercial for the nonprofit charity organization that I run called the Northeast Ohio Ghostbusters? Fine. Fuck you. Because I also know your secret, Facebook. And that's the secret of the fact that you're shutting down all of the Ghostbuster franchise's Facebook pages for being nonprofit charity organizations because, oh yeah, you're not seeing any of that money. Here we are trying to do something good and give back to our communities, using our fandom to give back to the communities that we serve. And you're going to shut down our Facebook pages stating that we're misappropriating the Ghostbusters brand when, oh yeah, Sony Pictures gave us the right to use all that stuff? Come on now. Grow up. We just lost 3 viewers.
Did you really?
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it when people turn off the book face because I cuss them out. Either that or Facebook shut me down. That can be the only thing I can think of. But hey, you know what? I really don't care.
Oh, let me see, because
I had nothing planned for this, because I didn't expect it to be here doing. I mean, I expected to be here doing, like I said, doing Renegades, but I did not expect to be here doing Money's Crazy Mind. So I had nothing planned for this. And like I said, I just did a show last night, so it's like, what else do I talk about? So when I noticed that Facebook sent me that notification this morning with every minute of my show claiming Facebook violation, whatever, I am just like, okay, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the Metallica concert. What else? Because I need content for my show next week. I don't know. I've seen all of Next Generation before because that was like the first Star Trek show that came out during my actual lifetime. I mean, I watched the reruns of TOS with my dad because they were always on TV. A funny story, when I actually met Jonathan Frakes and LeVar Burton. And I printed out a picture of the bridge crew of TNG, and I printed one out that actually included Tasha and Worf, because Denise Crosby was actually going to be at a con, and I'm just like, it wouldn't be fair to not get her since she was originally on that bridge crew before she got eaten by Tar. So I hand the picture to Jonathan Frakes to have him sign it. I just wanted him to sign it right underneath their faces. It wasn't like they weren't on the bridge of the Enterprise D or anything like that, but it was a picture of all their faces, and they're all in their uniforms. And I hand it to him, and I'm like, I remember watching the premiere of Encounter at Farpoint with my dad. And the reason I remember it is because he broke the living room table because it was a glass top table. Because he sat his ass on the table, and you just hear kunk under him. And my mom's like, that was tempered glass. So my dad broke a tempered glass table with his ass watching Star Trek. But I remember that. I remember that very vividly. I actually asked my mom about it a couple weeks ago when I was with her, and she's like, that is how your dad broke that table. She's like, I almost forgot. So it just goes to prove it was a real memory. But he looked at me and he's like, how old were you? Like 2? And I'm like, well, wait, Encounter at Farpoint, that debuted in 1989, right? And he goes, no, 86. I'm like, yeah, I was 2.
Wow, man, wow, yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, I was 2 years old. I'm like, but that was my earliest memory was watching Encounter at Farpoint with my dad. And he goes, well, how do you know it was Encounter at Farpoint? I'm like, the fucking jellyfish, dude. Like, the jellyfish it was all about the jellyfish, man. Because I was like, how cool do those look? I mean, even back in 86. And now that they've redone all the special effects and everything, it looks even more amazing. God damn it, Dale Earnhardt just gave me a fucking heart attack.
That's Junior, by the way.
I know it's Junior. Oh my God. I thought it was Dave standing there, and then all of a sudden I look and I'm like, no, it's Dale Jr. Oh, no. I'd rather have the.
Closer.
I'm good. I'd rather have the Kyle.
Well, hey, try when we sleep here sometimes at night. The one night I was on the air mattress out here, and I rolled over, and he's like above me, staring down at me, woke me up in the middle of the night, scared the hell out of me.
Oh God, I couldn't even imagine that. No, but I just wanted to go back and watch some of my favorite episodes of TNG before I get into Picard because
It's really good. You will like it.
Yeah,
At first I was nervous, but then I was like, wow. And now they have. I don't know if the last season's
It's the final.
out yet. Yeah.
No, it's coming soon though, which is why I want to try to get caught up on it. I did start season 1, but then I forgot about some of the things that they talked about on there, and I wanted to go back and watch the Bruce Maddox episode where you know the what was it called, the make of a man or the price of a man, or
Yeah, I think it was Price of a Man. I can't remember.
where they decide that Data is actually a living being and that he has all the rights that are afforded to a Starfleet officer, which is an amazing episode, absolutely amazing. And Jonathan Frakes was great in that episode, you know, sitting there stating Pinocchio is broken when he turned Data off. And then Picard sitting there saying, like, how many times have we done this in our history? Right. And just the way that they brought it all around to sit there and say, no, Data has these rights. And then they even tackle that again. And I just finished the episode where Data creates Lal, his daughter. And Starfleet's trying to take her away from him. And I'm just like, it's amazing. Because even Picard's just like, I'm the one that fought for his rights. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You did. Like, but no, TNG had so many wonderful moments. And I mean, I'm watching TOS and TNG at the same time just to flip flop because, I mean, they did amazing things on that original series too. And I don't know what it is about Star Trek, but I've always loved Star Trek more, and I'm probably going to piss off a bunch of nerds right now, but I've always loved Star Trek more than I've liked Star Wars. And I think it's just because that's something that me and my dad had when I was a kid.
Yeah, see, my dad's all into sci-fi, so we would watch. He started me off with Star Trek and then Star Wars. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like both in our household. We respect both of them. Like, and some people are like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. Just you can like both. It's okay
you can,
like
you can," and that's the part that people just don't understand. It's just like, why do I get into this debate all the time with people over who played the better Batman? I'm like, it all depends on what version of Batman you personally like. If you liked the campy Batman of the 60s and 70s, then yeah, you're going to like Adam West. If you liked the stuff that Frank Miller started doing in the 80s where he brought Batman back to the dark and gritty and everything like that, you're going to like Michael Keaton. You're going to like the Christian Bale. You're going to like Affleck. You're going to like fucking Twilight dude. I can't remember his real name. Robert Pattinson. You know, you're going to like those versions of Batman, but if you like the campy, then you're going to like the George Clooney with bat nipples for some fucking dumbass reason. And friggin' Arnold Schwarzenegger, every winter, there is only one absolute, everything freezes. You're not sending me to the cooler.
Everybody forgets about Clooney in that one. But like everybody wants to forget about that Batman.
The best thing about that Batman was Uma Thurman as a Poison Ivy.
That was the only thing, yeah.
Because she actually was a little bit true to her character. Her origin was a little miffed, but other than that, like, she was actually the way Poison Ivy is in the comics. She, you know, the temptress and everything like that. Hell, she's the one that helped Hush turn all the people on against Batman in Hush. If you actually read the comic book, not watch the movie. But for me, like, I love Star Wars. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars. But there's always just been that thing where Star Trek actually tries to teach you something. Like, there's always a message behind every episode of Star Trek. And even in the movies, there were, some of the movies, I will say, there was a message. I mean, Star Trek 4. I mean, look what Star Trek 4 did for the awareness of whaling.
Oh, yeah. And that one was, that's actually one of my favorites. Because it was
Mine too.
funny, and it was different from everything else that they've done. It was different.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, if you look at some of those old Star Trek movies, and I like William Shatner, but I don't think he's a very good director. All their good movies were directed by Nimoy. He did a lot of the ones that were popular.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite one actually of all time is Wrath of Khan. You can't.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat Wrath of Khan. But I get into this argument all the time because there was actually a time when on the Star Trek website, it announced that V'ger was actually the origin of the Borg. And if you think about it, Ilea was the very first human to be assimilated by V'ger, and she's a bald woman. The Borg Queen was bald.
Wow, I never even. Wow.
And you all right, so you got to think about it. I mean, you got to think about it in this, because I get into a fight with Star Trek people about this all the time. And they're like, but we're talking about 100 years difference between the 23rd century and the 24th. And I'm just like, and? You don't think that kind of evolution couldn't have taken place over 100 years?
Right. Wow, I never even thought of that. That's pretty cool.
Maybe it was wow.
What?
We thought y'all called me.
No, I went wow. I did the old wow. We're having a Star Trek moment here. Nerd talk. I know.
Justin George called it during Renegades. This would become nerd talk.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. But that's.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Because like, they were looking for the creator. They found the creator in Decker.
Right.
Because that's who Ilea ended up assimilating at the end of that. But then they said, with the way that they worded this on, I think it was the Vulcan something or other. It used to be a feature on the website that's not there anymore. But they stated that V'ger continued to roam the galaxy for years, assimilating, other cultures. And eventually V'ger can't just be a floating cloud anymore. He's going to have to build some kind of ship. So why doesn't it make sense that they would have turned it into the Borg? Because you not only had Borg cubes, but you had Borg spheres. And I mean, if I'm out there, I'm out there. I really don't give a shit. But I mean, to me, it makes sense. It makes sense that could be the evolution of the Borg.
A lot of sense. By the way, the Colts and Vikings are tied at 36.
Wow.
Did I call
22
that?
seconds left to go into the fourth quarter. It is
Sorry,
36,
Dale. I didn't mean to
36.
hit Dale. Let's move Dale.
I had to
Yeah, please, because you already gave me a heart attack once during this show.
Did I call that?
You called
You did call it.
You called it,
I
Dave.
had to check the score, and it was 36-36.
And then
22 seconds to go.
Chipper looks at me like I'm stupid. Who's got the ball? Is it Minnesota? It should tell you by.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go back. Let me see who has the ball. I was.
I said they'd win 31-30.
Vikings 4th and 1 at their own 35-yard line with 22 seconds to go. So it's probably going to go into overtime. Yep, 36-36.
That's better than 30-0.
Yeah. I had to throw that in there because of what it was talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, 39 or 42? 36.
Wow. I can't believe that. But this isn't a sports show, so we're not talking no more sports. The sports show's over. No. You missed it, Dave. I went off on Facebook and
That was you yelling?
yeah.
Yeah. He yelled so bad I thought my ass was getting chewed out. I thought I did something wrong. I was like, wait a minute.
But I mean, well, I don't want to say it again because we might get kicked off of Facebook again. But yeah, no, I mean, to me, that's always been the origin story of the Borg. Nobody can change my mind on that. But LeVar Burton said the exact same thing when I met him. He's like, how do you remember Encounter at Farpoint? And I'm like, how do I remember you reading me books, dude? Like, and he goes, all right, touche. And I'm like, yeah, because Reading Rainbow went off the air after you started playing Geordie LaForge. So if I remember Reading Rainbow, I can clearly remember Geordie LaForge.
Reading Rainbow.
Exactly. They're talking about bringing that show back, but not with him as the host.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember, like, because I used to watch that, and then I was like, when I saw him on Star Trek, I was like,
That's the Reading Rainbow. Yeah.
he's not reading a book. Why has he got those funny
That was my thing, too. And I'm like, is that the Reading Rainbow guy? And my dad's like, I think so. And then Jordy took visor off, and he goes, it is the Reading Rainbow guy. And I'm like, he ain't reading me books. Why can't he see? Like, I'm two. Like, I don't understand these things, you know? but no, yeah, TNG was always my introduction to Star Trek. It felt like my Star Trek. For me, though, I guess this is turning into a Star Trek episode, but who cares? For me, though, the series that made me sit there and go, okay, this is a show that I'm going to watch continually for years. Believe it or not, because I know a lot of people shit on this, but Deep Space Nine.
That was a good one. That one was good.
See, a lot of people were just like, it wasn't in a ship and they weren't on missions. And I'm like, okay, running a space station is a different mission every day. Because you never know what's going to happen. And plus, Quark was just such a brilliant character. After the joke they made out of the Ferengi on TNG, they had to do something to save the Ferengi. Because
Actually, one of my dad's favorites. He loved that one. That was a good one, though. And I liked Cisco. He was good.
yeah, Cisco was great. Avery Brooks was excellent as he finally became Captain Cisco when they got the Defiant. But I mean, they brought back some of the characters from TNG because Worf ended up on there, O'Brien ended up on there. But I don't know what it was about Deep Space Nine that made me fall in love with that show the way it did. I think it was just because it was something different. It's not the ship is traveling the galaxy and they run into all these weird things. Now it's like an everyday, like it's a day at the office. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now it's a day at the office. Plus they had the wormhole, and who knew what was going to come out of the Gamma Quadrant, and all of that. So I mean, the Dominion War to me was one of the greatest season finales or series finales of all time. The Dominion War was amazing, and so that was my two more people just dropped off, but
Like, what are they talking about?
this isn't sports anymore. now we're just talking about Star Trek, but no, it's all good. But yeah, no, the Voyager, obviously I dug a lot. Enterprise, still garbage to this day.
Oh, that was terrible.
Discovery is slowly turning into garbage, but
See, and so you watched that.
yes,
Discovery.
yes.
I started watching it, and the whole thing. See, I started thinking about the Borg origins, where
Mm-hmm.
with
V'ger.
yeah, with V'ger, but thinking too, like how the nanites and stuff that they had. I was like, well, wait, is this how the Borg start now? But you know, that supposedly Discovery takes place before
Yeah.
Kirk and all that.
But that's also, I'm still trying to figure out where Picard lives, because it's like Discovery is in the Kelvin timeline, which is the reboot timeline that they started in 2009. I'm like, but wait a minute, this was supposed to fix the Kelvin time loop, and take us back into the original canon. So what the fuck are we doing here? But Discovery hasn't ended yet, so there's still the possibility that it can. Oh God, it's slowly. And I love these guys because all three movies that they made, Star Trek, Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond, were really good. And now they're making a fourth. So I'm just like, well, what are we doing here, people? Like your TV shows are trash. I hope they don't do that. But this is supposed to be the final season of Picard. They're bringing back just about everybody from TNG. So, I mean, it's basically going to be Star Trek The Next Generation Season 8. Yeah. You know, with fuck. They can say fuck now. So that's.
Well, have you watched that Strange New Worlds? Because I like it.
Strange New Worlds, I do like. Strange New Worlds is really good. You know, Captain Pike. You know, we finally get the adventures of Pike. And I tell everybody this. That series has to end with Pike in the menagerie episode. Yep. That's how it has to end.
Yep. I like how they especially my dad got me into the old Star Trek.
Yep.
That's how I started.
Same here.
And when they did that episode on Strange New Worlds with the Romulans, which was kind of
a throwback to the T. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was done really well.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's cool.
For me, the way that he had those visions of him in that chair and everything, I'm just like, okay, so obviously this is going to end with him.
And then you actually get to see how he got into that, what
yeah.
caused him to be, because the old show, you never knew what happened.
You just assume that it was something that happened on the Menagerie planet where he runs off with the girl, and then that's how Kirk becomes the new captain of the Enterprise. And but if they're going to do it that way, because that's also supposed to be Kelvin timeline, from what I understand. If they're going to do it that way, I need to see Christopher Pike Chris Pine as Kirk take the reins over from him. Yeah. Even though it's not the same guy that played Pike in the movie, but yeah, no, such an amazing turn of events on how this show went. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but nerds unite. But speaking, because Justin brought up Power Rangers earlier, and I haven't really spoken on this. I've kept my tongue quiet about it because I would go off on Ranger Nation for the way that they've treated this. How dare anybody congratulate somebody for committing suicide? And I've seen it. I've been seeing it so much from people that do not understand a person's personal life. I have seen it in several Facebook groups dedicated to Power Rangers that after Jason David Frank committed suicide, they're like, well, he cheated on his wife. He got what he deserved. We don't know that he cheated on his wife. And to be honest with everybody out there, the reason he committed suicide isn't because he got caught cheating on his wife. It's because his wife denied him the right to see his children, locked him out of their house, and told their kids that if they said one more word to their father, that she was going to disown them. So if you want to blame anybody for Jason David Frank, a hero to so many kids, and one of the most kindest men I have ever met on this planet, blame his piece of shit ex-wife. That's who you blame. And then his oldest daughter, the heir apparent to Kimberly, the Pink Ranger in the new reboot that Hasbro's doing of the original Power Rangers, didn't even speak to her father anymore. She said, I believe Mom, get out of my life. And when I met Jason David Frank, she was with him, and she worshiped the ground that her father walked on back then.
If you look at all of his co-stars,
In complete
Tore up.
shock.
Just shocked, tore up, devastated. And I have to break. I don't know if you saw it. You probably did. I wasn't a big Power Rangers fan. I didn't have anything against them. I just never watched it a lot. My brother did. He loved the Power Rangers, and he was shocked by all that. But there was, I don't know. It was a few years ago. He was at a Comic-Con or something where he was speaking, and he was getting ready to talk, and Stan Lee comes in.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Stan Lee goes, I don't mean to interrupt. He goes, but I had to come in and see my favorite Power Ranger. And he was like caught off.
He was floored.
He was floored. Like, here's Stan Lee, a legend. I'm his favorite Power Ranger.
Yeah, Stan Lee wants to see me, of all people, right? Yeah. No, but when I met him, I was in full Ghostbusters regalia. I had the Proton Pack on, everything. And he's like, I know how heavy these packs are, so I'm going to watch where I put my hands so that I don't put too much weight on your back. Standard Proton Pack is 25 to 50 pounds, depending on how you make it. Mine was 10 because I'm smart. But I didn't tell him that, you know. But just the care. And then this was right around the time that a brand new Power Rangers comic book came out, and they re-eviled Tommy. And this issue, it was issue 25, so a milestone issue for any comic book. Tommy was going to destroy the Morphin Grid. And they black polybagged it the same way that they did Death of Superman, the issue where Superman actually died.
I remember that. I have that.
I do also have a black poly bag for that. Bought mine years later, but for $2 because they oversold that book. But they black poly bagged it, and it had the shattered lightning bolt on it that they put in the original logo and everything. And I handed it to him to sign it, and he goes, "You didn't open this?" I'm like, "No, dude, this is a milestone issue. Why would I open it?" He goes, "So you don't know what cover you got?" The fuck you mean? How many covers were there? He goes, "Each one was a surprise."
Wow.
He's like, "You might actually have the photo cover of me sitting on Lord Dracon's throne with destroyed Ranger helmets all around me."
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, just sign the book, dude, because now you're going to make me open it. Like, once your signature's on it, I'm not opening this bag. So he's just like, "Well, what, you're not going to read the issue?" And I'm like, "Actually, I read it online digitally, but I did order the reprint so that I have an issue 25 that I could read if I ever wanted to, or if my wife ever wanted to." And he goes, "Oh, I guess that's really cool." And he goes, "Are you going to try to get everybody else to sign this too?" And I'm like, "That's kind of my dream, to have all 6 Rangers sign this comic because of how important it was." I've got 2 out of 6 because half of them don't come to this part of town. Yes, I do, actually, Bill. The man behind the desk. Well, I met Amy Jo Johnson, but it was years before that comic came out. Actually, it was about a year before that issue came out. So I had her sign issue 3 because they did a Pink Ranger variant of issue 3, so I had her sign that. But when I met Jason David Frank, it was not too long after that issue 25 came out, and he was just such a cool guy. He died on my birthday. So it's like I was already having a shitty year to begin with, and then one of my heroes dies on my birthday. Obviously, the news didn't come out until the next day, but they said, obviously it was the night before. And, to hear the statement his wife, or I guess she's his widow because they never really got divorced. Like, you never understand what's going on behind closed doors, and you never understand a man until it's too late. And I respect the thoughts that his fans have for him, but I cannot honor that man. I'm like, he fathered your children, you fucking bitch. Regardless of whatever your personal feeling was on him, whether he cheated or not is not the issue. But from everything that I've seen and everything that I've read, It was just an allegation that she couldn't back up, but she got her kids involved in it, and that's what broke his heart. And
That's terrible.
and that's wrong.
Yeah, that's not right.
Because my mom involved me in my parents' divorce, and I've been fucked up ever since. Because I was the oldest, and she's like, you're the one that can make the most impact on your father. And I'm like, I don't, look, whatever happened between you and dad is you and dad. I'm fucking 13. Let me be a teenager. You know, and then she's like, well, your dad used to beat me, and your dad used to beat you. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I remember that. Like, trust me, there's enough hatred up here on my own for my father. I don't need your bullshit on top of it. And it's taken me almost 30 years to get a relationship back with my dad. So yeah, I'm a little pissed at my mom. They got divorced when I was 10. I'm 38.
Yeah, that's bad when they manipulate the children like that. That's not good.
You know, and then to see somebody else do that, and the result is that that person's not here anymore. And to see, you can tell who the real fans are because they're posting the pictures that they took with JDF at conventions, at Ranger Con, at, you know, a Ranger pop-up or whatever, and they're just like, he was the kindest person you would ever meet in your life. Or I love karate now because I saw Tommy Oliver on Power Rangers. Or, you know, whatever. And then seeing Amy Jo Johnson crying on TikTok, remembering the memories that she had with him when they were Kimberly and Tommy. And I can't tell you how many people are just like, I wish I had a relationship like Kimberly and Tommy.
It goes back to that mental illness
that I was talking
about earlier in the earlier show. You don't know when those demons are going to hit.
Exactly. And then to see the guy from the Ellen DeGeneres show, Twitch, I think his name was, the DJ from the Ellen DeGeneres show that just committed suicide too. And it's we feel so bad for him and his family and da-da-da-da-da. But then with Jason David Frank, it's like, fuck you, Green Ranger. You cheated on your wife. What's the difference?
Bill and I have had very deep conversations
Right.
about if anything should happen to him, that I'm not to grieve and I'm to tell the truth.
Exactly.
And I respect him for that.
The look on Bill's face is classic.
We have had deep conversations about it.
You're supposed to tell all my dirty secrets.
No,
I missed part of that. What?
no, I said I am not to grieve
No, we're a fucking flower dressing party.
and I'm to tell the truth about
My wife has very explicit instructions. She is to have me cremated. All of my Ghostbusters gear gets donated to a member of the Northeast Ohio Ghostbusters so that they have a chance to have what I had. And then part of my ashes are spread at Daytona International. Part of my ashes are spread at whatever city WrestleMania is in that year. And then the rest go to Acrisure Stadium.
I'm to have Grim Reaper sitting in the
Oh,
corner.
dude, she will not let me have my perfect funeral.
See, my wife hates it. She's like, no, I want you in the mausoleum of my family next to me. And I'm like, that's your family's mausoleum. That's got nothing to do with me. Burn me extra fucking crispy. Yeah, you know. Just...
Let me have 1 minute to explain my perfect funeral. All right. Now, she is right.
I got 9 minutes left, and we get the most views we've had.
In the back of the cemetery or the back of the funeral home, I want this buddy of mine who's like 7'5" to be in a Grim Reaper outfit. He's already said he would, and I want a sign around him that says, "Who's next?" Then,
Oh, I would love that.
heading to the funeral home, I want the Blues Brothers machine, the whatever they called it.
The Bluesmobile.
Bluesmobile. But I want out of that big giant fucking speaker, I want Highway to Hell blasted all the way from the funeral home to the cemetery. So then, as you're lowering my casket in the ground, I want everybody to stay there until the end. I want them all to watch the casket go down. As the casket's going down, I want race cars like screeching, tires screeching, hitting the wall, everything else. When I get down at the bottom, then everybody can leave. And as everybody leaves, Sonny, the end of it, once I'm down, lowered down, and everybody starts walking away, I want somebody to hit play on a boombox, and you're gonna hear, "Hey, let me out! I'm not dead."
Somebody actually did that at their funeral, and it is one of the most watched videos on TikTok. Yeah. But, I mean, all right, so we started out talking about how much I hate fucking Facebook, how much I love Metallica for putting on that charity concert last night, to a 40-minute conversation about Star Trek and 10 minutes talking about fucking death. If this isn't the definition of money's crazy mind, I don't know what the hell it is. But we're going to cut it here, guys. Thank you, everybody, for checking out this live stream today. The Steel City Renegades actually went into a little bit of overtime, but that's cool because I had nothing planned for this show. So this literally is the definition of money's crazy mind, but we got about 4 or 5 minutes left. We're going to get out of here. We're going to head back to Cleveland, and hopefully my car is still parked where it's supposed to be because it's a goddamn Kia.
Oh, don't get Paul started on Kias.
October 6th, mine got stolen. They recovered it, but it's still not done.
They recovered it hours later. They
Yeah.
still doesn't.
It wasn't in East Cleveland, was it?
No, they found it on.
Got taken from Parma.
It got taken from Old Brooklyn. I'm not that far from you guys' studio there.
I live in Parma, and there's the thefts are up 500% right now.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, my buddy whose shop I had it towed to, parts are the biggest problem.
See, all right, I have a story about that too, but we don't have time to get into that because it's a 3-month saga. But Parma got clubs in. You know how many they got? Because I actually asked the mayor.
What, like 30?
10. They were gone in 10 minutes.
They were supposed to have gotten like 500.
Parma Heights got 30. Parma got 10.
2nd District Cleveland Police called me. 'Cause it's
Where the car was found, yeah.
Yeah, and they
You live
called
by me then.
Yeah, I live on Gifford.
I live off of 140th and Leroy.
All right, well, we're going to end the show right here, guys. Thanks, everybody, for checking out the broadcast.
We're gonna go on. Yeah.
Like we said, come on down to Pit Road Diecast. If you mention Money's Crazy Mind, if you mention Steel City Renegades, if you mention Redline Radio in general, on a purchase of $20 or more,
Yes.
you get $5 off your in-store purchase. And you saw it all behind us here. They have just walls of cars, models, anything you can think of. And if Bill doesn't have it here in the store, if you ask him for it, he probably knows where to get it from. Trust me.
Find it.
And they will find it, exactly. Trust me on this. I am living proof of that. They helped me find one of my Holy Grail pieces, and Bill's holding it hostage in his house because he won't sell it to me.
I'll sell it to you. $200.
We'll talk. But anyway, everybody, thanks for checking out Money's Crazy Mind and the Steel City Renegades live from Pit Road Diecast. We'll be back next week. Have a great Christmas, everybody. See ya.